Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CISN Football Pregame Show, Week 8 edition here, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I am your host, Blake Walker. We got a great week on tap for you, but first, we're going to take a look at the highlights from last week's 3 games here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. West Des Moines Valley taking on Des Moines Lincoln. Here early in the first quarter, Michael Provenzo rolls out to his left and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Valley taking the early lead. This whole game was all Valley. The Tigers really no trouble here on Friday night. Here's a punt that is blocked, picked up by Gage Olson. The punt was blocked by Cole Sonnenberg. Big touchdown for Valley. Nice special teams touchdown. Always good when you can grab a couple of those. Valley is feeling it early in the first quarter. Moved to the second, 27-0. Provenza checks down to Aiden Price, and Price races to the end zone. Great block downfield. Valley runs it up and wins it 54-0. They moved to 4-3 on the season with a win over Des Moines Lincoln. Big game at Ankeny Stadium. Waukee Northwest taking on Ankeny Centennial. A little bit later in the first quarter, how about the throw by Sam Johnson? The PI is called inside the 5-yard line. Centennial doesn't believe it, but it sets up a big play for the Wolves. Brady Grisham runs into the end zone. Touchdown Wolves. They take an early 7-0 lead over the Jaguars on the road, and the Wolves would continue to run it. Sam Johnson, 41-yard pass all the way downfield to Jackson Adams. Nice catch and grab. Great throw by Sam Johnson, who doesn't throw the ball a ton. And then at the beginning of the second quarter, they flip sides. Touchdown run up the middle by Sam Johnson. QB sneak. Northwest is up 14-0 over the Jags and off to a hot start, but Centennial would come back. This is a double pass. Trenton Smith to Severson, downfield to Porter, makes a heck of a juke move. Can't quite get to the end zone, but a great play. It made number 1 on our top 5 list. This drive would then be finished off with an Easton Miller grab-and-go touchdown run off the right side. 14-7, Northwest leads over Centennial. And later in the ball game, with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Centennial down 14-7. Got to go for it deep in your own territory on 4th and 12. And it's dropped. Could not be caught up to Chase Shuddy. One-handed grab, not going to work. Northwest would get the ball back. And once again, Brady Grisham up the middle would score it. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest. Centennial would score again, but it was too little too late. Waukee Northwest upsets Ankeny Centennial on the road, 20-14. Marshalltown taking on Roosevelt at Drake Stadium. Marshalltown trying to take down Roosevelt on their homecoming. Dalen Houston off the left side. Dives for the end zone. Superman dive by number 15. It was one of 4 touchdowns this evening by Dalen Houston. He scores, puts them up 8-0 after the 2-point conversion. Later in the first, Dominic Wade over the middle, caught by Peter Ponthedeth. And Ponthedeth works his way to the middle of the field, almost stays up and falls down just before getting outside of the end zone. Wade would go right back to Ponthedeth. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch on the right corner. Touchdown Roosevelt. They would miss the 2-point conversion attempt, or they missed the field goal attempt to try to get it within 1. Later, a fumble by Marshalltown, recovered by Roman Whitfield, big number 56 at the bottom of the pile. Comes up with it. Huge play by the defense. Max Masucci would then take in a run from just outside the 10, work through a couple defenders and score. Roosevelt would take back the lead over the Bobcats in a tightly contested back and forth game. Later, Dominic Wade up 12-8. Wade fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, and decides to keep it and swings the ball over the top of his head, almost a reverse dunk style to get it into the end zone. Heads up play by number 16, 28 lead. Later, Dalen Houston rolls to his left. He'll take a hard shot here at the end. Does score. He was down on the field. He would go back to the sideline for concussion protocol. They deemed him safe to play. 2015. Later, biggest play of the game here. Houston rolls out, and he's brought down from behind by Jaquan Bradley. Ball comes out, but the referee says that the ball was in a throwing motion, and the fumble does not count. Take a look again on the replay. Houston rolls, and Bradley hits that right arm, but the official says that it did not swing out, therefore it's not a fumble. Houston would then finish it off with a touchdown, and Marshalltown would take the lead 22-20 over Roosevelt. Later, Dominic Wade, 11:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Wade on 4th and 7 over the middle. Zion Spellman makes a couple guys miss and walks into the end zone. Roosevelt takes back the lead 28-23. The Rough Riders trying to finish, or 26-23, trying to finish this one out. Dalen Houston to Tate Rang up the middle, screenplay, bouncing off defenders, gets it within inside the 5, and it sets Marshalltown up as Houston, for the 4th time, runs it into the end zone thanks to help from his lineman. 26-30, Marshalltown takes back the lead. But it's all up to the Roosevelt Rough Riders. 2:17 on 3rd and 16, driving downfield. Wade rolls to his right, eyes downfield, fires a long pass, and it's picked off. Raiden Weatherly seals the ball game, and an incredible ball game it was. Marshalltown defeats Roosevelt 30-26. And those are our highlights from our 3 games last week here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Now it is time to take a look at the RPI coming into Week 8, brought to you by the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Taking a look at the RPI for this week, Dowling, number 1 in the polls. The Maroons continue to roll and look to stay number 1 as we head toward the postseason. Southeast Polk jumps to number 2. They jump over Ankeny in 3rd despite the head-to-head loss. Pleasant Valley drops to 4 despite being undefeated. Cedar Rapids Kennedy in 5th after the big win over Davenport West. Cedar Rapids Prairie to 6th after their loss to Southeast Polk. The big jump, Waukee Northwest, all the way up to 7th. They are in front of Centennial, who they beat. Centennial then in front of Cedar Falls, who they beat. Davenport West drops to 10th after their 44-0 loss to Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Johnston in 11th, Valley in 12th, Urbandale 13th, despite having the head-to-head win over Valley. Ames drops to 14th with the loss to Dowling Catholic. Sioux City East is 15th, and Iowa City High is the last team looking in after the loss to Pleasant Valley in 16th. Your first 4 out, Linn-Mar 17, Dubuque Senior 18, Waukee 19th, and Iowa City West in 20th as the race for the playoffs continues. top 16 make it, and the wins matter greatly. And also who you've beat should be interesting to see how the RPI shakes up in week 9. That will do it for the beginning portion of our show. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for coach interviews and much, much more. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the car guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show, Week 8 edition, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I'm your host, Blake Walker. It's time to talk to some coaches of our big games of the week this week. We had a couple of our staff members sit down with multiple coaches. We'll go right to those interviews right now.
Joining us now is Waukee head coach Gabe Baker. And, well, Coach, let's talk about last week first. Get a win there, a couple wins now that you've put up together here, and that always helps. You getting those wins always makes you feel better no matter what happens, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Our kids really needed it. I think we're at the point in the season where they've improved so much from a year ago and even from the first game. And being able to see the results on the field and in the win column really helps out this team at this point in the year.
What have you seen that you've seen where you've improved the most here as you've gone through the season?
I think the last couple of weeks, our offense has kind of gotten some confidence. You know, early in the year, we had a lot of young players playing, some new linemen up front, and just as the year's gone, they've gotten more confident. And like I said, it was hard to see that when we weren't scoring a whole lot of points. But the last couple of weeks when we have been able to get in the end zone and gain some yardage, I think is really going to help us in these last 2 weeks of the season.
Well, and then you come into this, you got a team that's playing with a lot of confidence in Urbandale right now. And what do you see out of them?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, you know, Sam Anderson has done a great job there for years. He's a great coach and great leader of those guys. They always play tough defense. They have a couple defensive players that are as good as there are in the state of Iowa, in my opinion. They're really aggressive. And then on offense, they got some playmakers. I mean, there's no sugarcoating that their quarterback and receivers are as good as they get in Central Iowa. So we're going to have our hands full with Urbandale. Like you said, they're 5-2, feeling confident, and we got to be ready to roll when they come to our stadium.
So is that on your side, keeping up that offensive output that you've had recently, is scoring some points? Is that a key? Yeah,
well, we're going to have to. You know, their defense hasn't allowed a lot of points this year. I think the most they've allowed is 24 points in a game. I feel we have to get to that 20-point range and kind of see if our defense can hold up as well to help us win that football game.
I haven't totally looked at all the figures in that, but are you guys still in the playoff hunt here?
You know, we're going to have some success here the last 2 weeks. We can't control what's happened in the past or what other people do, so we just got to go and try to win this last home game for our seniors and try to improve on our record from a year ago.
Yeah, and I mean, you got a couple teams coming up, obviously, with good records that would help the RPI. So, but until you can't be looking ahead from this game to the next game and that, can you?
No, you really can't. You know, in Central Iowa, the whole season's a grind, and every week is too. So we have to be ready for everything Urbandale gives us, and I know our kids are excited about it.
Okay, well, we might see a little cooler weather maybe for the first time, but that's football. You got to adjust to all that stuff too, don't you?
Yeah, the wind, the rain, the cold, the hot, whatever it is in the state of Iowa in the football season, we see it. So we'll be ready.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you again taking some time out to talk with us about the upcoming game here, and good luck to you on Friday night.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate the coverage.
Once again, we want to thank all the coaches for their time to sit down and chat with us, and we wish them the best of luck this evening in their big games. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back to wrap everything up. You are watching the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
We are
We are so much more.
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy.
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show, Week 8 edition, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I'm your host, Blake Walker. Before we send you off to the big game this evening, let's take a look at some of the other games that are going on across the state tonight in Iowa high school football. Ankeny taking on Waukee Northwest here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Big game for the Hawks. Waukee Northwest coming off the upset against Ankeny Centennial. Can they continue their upset ways as they make a push toward the playoffs? The Hawks have started slow in a couple games this year. Should be a very interesting game over at Ankeny Stadium. The classic Dowling Valley rivalry. Valley not quite what they've been in recent years past, but it's always a tough matchup when these two teams face off against each other. Technically a home game for both these two teams. We'll see what Coach Wilson and Coach Swenson have up their sleeves as the rivalry continues in this historic game. And then a sneaky good game at Waukee High School. Waukee taking on Urbandale. The Warriors are in 19th in the RPI. They're going to have to win out pretty much to get in, but it all starts tonight against a really good Jayhawk squad that is currently ranked in the RPI at 13th. Waukee and Urbandale. Great game coming up here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. A couple other games to keep your eye on tonight. Cedar Rapids Kennedy coming off their big win against Davenport West. They will host a heavy and hard-hitting defense against Johnston with a really good quarterback as well. Ankeny Centennial and Southeast Polk. Boy, that could cause chaos if Centennial causes a loss to Southeast Polk this week. The Rams will look to take down Centennial at Southeast Polk High School. And then another big game in terms of the RPI, Iowa City High, who's currently the last one in, takes on Davenport West, who currently sits 10th in the RPI. That will wrap it up for us here on the CISN Football Pregame Show, Week 8 edition, brought to you by Iowa Corn. We hope everyone enjoyed tonight's pregame show, and we hope everyone enjoys your Football Friday. Once again, thanks to all the coaches for chatting with us, and thanks for watching us all evening long. Enjoy the big game, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Happy Football Friday, and welcome to tonight's Central Iowa Sports Network broadcasting event of Waukee versus Urbandale. Hello, everyone. Blake Walker and Hunter Phillips with you here this evening here at Waukee Stadium. Hunter, we're in for a great matchup tonight. Waukee's playoff hopes pretty much on the fringe. This is it for Waukee if they want to make it to the postseason. Got to beat Urbandale tonight. Urbandale 5-2 on the season. Waukee 3-4. What's it going to take for an upset to happen tonight against a really talented Urbandale squad?
Well, I tell you what, Waukee's been playing some of their best football as of late. They've won 2 games in a row, a team that's really been starting to click. And so I think they really want to establish the run early with Niall Eddy. Obviously, they need to get something going with Beckett Baker. He needs to make the big plays downfield. And you've got to somehow stop the aerial attack of Urbandale, which I know we'll get into here in a little bit. So, Urbandale, they're in the driver's seat. They control their own destiny. Waukee, a team that is starting to, again, play some of their best football here down the stretch, hoping to punch their ticket into the postseason.
They've won their last 2 games, coming off wins against Sioux City North and Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. Waukee 19th in the latest RPI standings. Urbandale 13th. Like you said, Urbandale probably will be able to get in. Take a look at them on their screen. Urbandale 13th, Johnson 11, Valley 12. Should be okay. Things get rough around Ames, Sioux City East, and Iowa City High. Waukee 19th, and it's like you said, got to win tonight and at least give yourself a chance against Dowling Catholic next week.
Yeah, and certainly I think really the start of this football game is going to be really important. The last time that we got to see Waukee out here was against Ankeny Centennial, a game in which they did not get off to a good start and just really conduct themselves in a hole. But, again, playing some of their best football right now, and they're going to be leaning on their defense for sure. And so this is what it's all about. You prepare during the offseason for an opportunity to get into the postseason, and tell you what, this is one of the pivotal matchups to watch here tonight, and lucky that we're able to call it.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for more of our pregame festivities. It is Urbandale on the road at Waukee coming up to you next on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Waukee and Urbandale coming at you here. Crucial matchup when it comes to the playoffs and how everything will shake out. Urbandale's taking the field on the far sideline in all white. Urbandale really hasn't changed road uniforms in a long time. You could still see pictures of Alan Lazard in those same uniforms. We'll talk about a comparison of Alan Lazard here in a couple minutes, but Waukee will get ready to take the field here. Pink out night. Waukee's going to be in all black this evening with bright white numbers. It is a broadcaster's dream with pink socks, a lot of pink socks. Obviously, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Waukee doing a great job making awareness to such as they continue to play the Timmy Trumpet thanks to the New York Mets. Cold night tonight, Hunter, that is for sure. We saw the clouds came through, a little bit of rain today. The wind is definitely going to be a factor tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention right away. The last few days, it has just been blustery here in central Iowa, and so that'll certainly be a factor overall. But, the deeper you get into the season, you're going to expect these kind of conditions. And do want to give a shout-out to our camera operators outside bearing the cold elements. We are very fortunate to be in the heat here in the booth, but just all in all, everyone's bundled up, everyone's ready to go. I mean, this is football weather this time of year, mid-October, and again, we're going to have such a great matchup here tonight. I mean, looking at the quarterback battle, like we talked about Beckett Baker and just a freshman, but he has started in all the games for Waukee, and we've seen some flashes from him, of course, coach's son. Then on the other side, you have Peyton Rottinghouse, Urbandale's career leader in passing yards. So it's a contrast there. That's one of the storylines coming in is just the quarterback battle. And then, of course, Kai Black, a tremendous athlete, someone that certainly has gotten the attention of course, college scouts, Iowa State commit. And, just a spitting image of Alan Lazard. And so certainly he is going to be someone that this Waukee secondary, who, by the way, ranks first in the state in interceptions. They're going to have a tall task literally tonight.
Should be a fun one ahead as Waukee takes the field One of the better, if not, some would argue, the best intro that we've seen in high school football this year in the state of Iowa. And they will trot out onto the field with their mini motorcycles and whatnot. Urbandale all set up on their sideline, just a couple minutes away from our opening kickoff here at Waukee Stadium. Great crowd on hand. Good Urbandale crowd. Big Urbandale student section. Obviously not that too far of a drive. Currently sitting at 47 degrees and probably around 40 by the time we get done here tonight. And it will remain cool for the rest of the weekend. But like you said, Hunter, it is football weather at its finest. And it's so interesting to see the comparison, like you said, of the quarterback. Peyton Rottinghouse, a senior, very talented, has been here for a long time. A lot of people picked Urbandale to be a sneaky team this year because he returned. And then you got a true freshman on the backside in Beckett Baker, who has, in my opinion, really improved ever since the beginning of the season.
Well, and what you really like out of Beckett Baker is his ability to run. I mean, he's not really the biggest quarterback, obviously still just very young. He's going to continue to grow physically, but yeah, he's just continued to progress really throughout the season, and he's really been making some strides, especially with his delivery of the football. And then one of the best in school history on the other side for Urbandale and Peyton Rottinghouse, who's also a guy who is not afraid to tuck and run it, but he is someone that loves to show off that arm talent for sure. And so you also want to mention, too, that tonight is senior night for Waukee, and so I know there's a lot of energy on the sideline, final time that you're going to be playing here at home during the regular season. And so for Waukee, it's about, really compressing that energy, harnessing it, and making sure that, again, you just you don't try to overlook things, if you will. I mean, you want to be energetic, you want to be out there and be loose, but at the same time, just know that, again, you got a tough squad on the other side in Urbandale that they're at 13 in the RPI rankings, but they're a team that is looking to come up with a statement win tonight.
Well, in Urbandale, late last season, pretty good year for the most part. Got stuck in a trap game late in the year against Waukee Northwest, and the Wolves upset them. Waukee will look to do the same tonight. It's pretty cut and dry. You lose tonight if you're Waukee, your playoff hopes are over. If you win tonight, you give yourself a chance taking on Dowling Catholic next week. Urbandale will try to continue to improve their playoff bout. The worst they can finish is 5-4, but 6 wins pretty much almost guarantees you a spot with the type of schedule that they have played. Waukee will kick this one off. Urbandale will be back to receive. And back for the Jayhawks is Elijah Holt. And I can't quite tell the other far number. Hunter might have, you got your binoculars, and I think it's 5, which would be Jordan Sturdivant. We are off and running, and the kick will sail with the wind, and it'll be taken by Hoyt. Hoyt turns the corner on the far side, gets a block, and down the far sideline. Great return all the way downfield on the right side by Elijah Hoyt. And Urbandale gets beautiful field position to set up shop.
Yeah, and certainly not, if you're for Waukee, certainly not what you want to give up. Put a high-potent offense in great starting position here to open up this drive. And so now we get our first look at Kai Black and this offense of Urbandale, Peyton Rottinghouse, and it's going to be, again, real fun to watch how Urbandale attacks this opening drive.
1,139 yards, 12 touchdowns, 5 picks on the year for Peyton Rottinghouse. He'll hand off on the first play and running up the middle for a gain of about 1 or 2. That will be the tailback Jalen Brooks, the sophomore, 5'6", 150 pounds.
Well, Waukee's defense has also continued to play really well. I know we spent a good chunk of the time touching on the offense, but Waukee's defense, they've really come together as a unit, especially that back end.
High snap picked up. Brooks is going to get brought down in the backfield. Nice pressure up front by Waukee, and that is number 55, Sonny Salick. Great pressure up the middle by Salkick.
Yeah, just read this one right away. Nowhere to go in the backfield, and you're already seeing the battle at the line of scrimmage won by Waukee's front.
3rd down and long for the Jayhawks. 3rd down and 16 from the 34. Kai Black is way out right. Nobody in the backfield. Rottinghouse will step back to throw. Pressure coming off the backside. Gets rid of it, but he's brought down to the backfield. Incomplete pass, and Waukee's D-line is dominating here early.
Well, the numbers do not lie when you look at this defense, Blake. 17 sacks entering this game, second in Class 5A. They are a team that loves to get there in the backfield, and that is just the perfect start for Waukee after giving up that long kickoff return, forcing Urbandale's offense to go 3 and out.
So they'll line it up on 4th down and 16 from the 34. And back to receive for Waukee will be Bryce Hoskinson. Hoskinson, and then I believe, I can't quite tell the other number, might be Caden Ivory. High snap caught, and the punt is on the way. The wind is not going to help it. And Waukee will back away. Urbandale touches, and it is down out of bounds. So the Warrior offense will set up shop. Hunter, give her a little bit of a show of what we got here. We got Beckett Baker, the freshman quarterback, but he's got some weapons on the wide receiver corps.
Yeah, he really does. He really likes to spread it out to a number of guys. Lucas Struck is really his go-to weapon there in the passing game, 17 catches, which leads the team coming in. They also have a pretty good tight end as well, but they also look out for the running backs. Again, Niall Eddy, he's someone that they really like to utilize in the passing game as well. So here we get our first look at the freshman quarterback that's really started to play well here down the stretch.
Baker on 1st down will fire short. This is caught and upfield on the screenplay for a couple yards. That's Lucas Struck.
Lucas Struck, number 7, is on the completion.
Gains of about 3. Grant Gamble was in the backfield. They run a couple running backs, different. Gamble and Eddy, like you said, a couple of their main go-to guys.
And this is a team that, again, wants to establish the run. Try to be well-balanced. They almost have as many rushing yards as they do passing yards per game, average about 112 on the ground, but that time well stuffed up front by Urbandale to set up a 3rd and long.
Gabe Carver blew it up the middle, and that is a loss of 1. Gamble tried to hit the hole. Carver was right there, and just like that, Waukee is stuck back. 3rd down and 8 for the Warriors. Peyton Betts on this near side for Waukee. Oliver McClurg as well over here. Baker on 3rd down will roll to the near sideline. He's going to fire downfield, and he's got a man wide open. Down the right side, cuts back to the middle. Touchdown, Waukee. Peyton Betts. And a lightning strike by the Warriors early against Urbandale.
Just a blown assignment in the secondary for Urbandale. Just a great job by Beckett Baker to be patient with the football, not to force it. And nobody accounted for number 19, who takes it to the house for his 2nd touchdown of the season. What a start by Waukee here on senior night.
They'll try for the field goal, and we got a false start. Waukee has struggled with kicks this year. Max Barticek is the kicker. They're going to call the false start on Urbandale. And Waukee Coach Baker will decline. So they will just try a recheck. Yeah, kicking has not been Waukee's strong suit, but Barticek this year, what did we got for him in the kickoff statistics?
9 of 14 on field goals, so while accuracy has been a bit of a question mark, he does have the longest field goal made in the state at 51 yards. So he's got a leg, but sometimes it's just been the consistency and making sure it's through the uprights, and he makes it that time.
7-0, Waukee on top early. We got an upset alert early at Waukee Stadium. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Waukee jumps out early against Urbandale. 7-0. Warriors on top. And the Warriors will kick this one back to Urbandale after the Jayhawks went 3 and out. And all the momentum is now on the Waukee sideline. And Urbandale's going to have to get back to work. They'll kick this one back, and it will go over the top of Hoyt's head. Elijah Holt, or Hoyt, just doing the returning tonight, just a sophomore. And there's a couple, despite being good experience, Urbandale has a couple young players that they can really back up.
Yeah, they do such a great job. Sam Anderson, who's in his 18th season at Urbandale. I mean, he has just constructed a very good program. I know he's tired of the narrative we're the smallest 5A school in the state, but they do a great job of developing kids early on, hence why you see, especially at the skill position, how they're able to get guys consistently in that program.
Rottinghouse checks down and immediately headed back upfield and breaking away from a couple, brought down immediately just outside of the 50. That is number 34, Max Hartzell, another sophomore running back. Take a look at the replay. Nice little dump-off screenplay here.
Yeah, Hartzell just finding a seam out there and just not good tackling in space. And that's something Coach Gabe Baker, he was a defensive back. He does not like to see that. But here's the defensive line for Waukee just really stepping up here early.
There is nothing going here early on the running game for Urbandale. Jalen Brooks got the carry. So a pair of sophomore players coming out of the backfield for Urbandale. Hartzell now back right next to Rottinghouse, and Brooks will come in and check in behind him. Have not seen Kai Black tonight. He's on that far side. Caden Arndt up here on the left. Rottinghouse fakes the handoff, back to throw. Here comes Waukee. More pressure. Rottinghouse fires wide open downfield. Caden Arndt. Arndt gets up the near sideline and is pushed out of bounds, and Urbandale moves the chains.
Yeah, a lot of talk is on number 15, and rightfully so, but Caden Arndt, I mean, he's quietly had a really good senior season. Nice job by Rottinghouse to spin away from the would-be tackler, and then as a right-handed quarterback to roll off to your left and make that kind of a throw. It just really shows the talent that he has. And, you know, Blake, one of the crazy things about last week, obviously playing Sioux City West, 62-6 win for Urbandale, Rottinghouse only threw 4 passes in that game. It was a game that was dominated on the ground for Urbandale, so they're going to try to do that. Clearly, Waukee, much stiffer competition than Sioux City West, but just really interesting that, again, for a quarterback in Rottinghouse, didn't really throw it all that often last week, but taking those chances downfield here early in the first quarter.
I was going to say Peyton might have to be passing a little bit more tonight. On 2nd and 9. Rottinghouse fakes it. More pressure. Rottinghouse fires outside, and this is dropped. Almost was picked off. Lucas Struck almost had it drop into his hands.
Boy, and that was Blake Hauk right there, delivering the pressure. And we've seen him just consistently in the backfield, so Rottinghouse had to force that one out a little bit earlier. And fortunate, if you're Urbandale, that did get picked off by a Waukee secondary that's been opportunistic, leads Class 5A and INTs this year.
Well, and it feels like Waukee right now, Rottinghouse has quite the limp coming back to the pile. It seems like the quote tonight is get pressure on the quarterback, force him to make a couple mistakes. 3rd down and 9 for the Jayhawks. Another high snap. Rottinghouse fires over the middle. That's low. Hits the turf. And a big 4th down and 9 upcoming. And what is Coach Anderson going to do? Looks like the offense will stay on the field. Right now, they have Bryce Hoskinson guarding Kai Black. Hoskinson is 5'9". Kai Black is 6'3". Keep an eye out for that. And then you got Caden Arndt here on this near side. And the tight end, Bo Carenza up the middle. 4th down and 9 for the Urbandale offense. Rottinghouse, pressure coming, gets rid of it, wide open. Kai Black on the far sideline, and he's driven out of bounds, but that is a perfect play set up by Urbandale.
Pass is complete. Number 15.
Yeah, just that one-on-one battle that you were talking about, Blake, just really came to fruition right there. And on top of the size difference, just his skill set as a route runner and just pitch and catch right there between two guys who have hooked up for many touchdowns and big-time plays like that over the years, and a big conversion for Urbandale's offense.
Run up the middle and a tough hit. Ball comes out. Waukee on top of it. Still fighting for it. Whose ball? Waukee! Someone got popped in the middle of the pile and the ball just kept dropping out, and the Warriors force a big turnover.
Luke is struck coming away with the ball, but there were several Warriors right there in the vicinity. Just a crushing turnover here for Urbandale after picking up that first down.
Jalen Brooks, the running back, got popped, and then it was just a scrum. Waukee's playing like their playoff hopes are on the line or something. What a start for the Warriors. Baker and his offense will go back to work. Gamble in the backfield. Baker rolls, fires, incomplete over the middle. Had to get rid of it. Good pressure up front by Urbandale.
Second consecutive game for that Waukee defense with a fumble recovery. Also had 2 interceptions last week in that really big win over Council Bluffs' Abraham Lincoln. And so, again, we talked about this when we hit the air, that this defense has really been playing well as of late and coming up with a big play to get their offense back out there on the field. And so Urbandale, they need their defense to be able to come up with a play.
Gamble gets the carry on the right side. He's brought down immediately. I tell you what, both D lines are working hard early. And tough sledding. That's actually going to be a loss of 1. Brings up 3rd down and 11.
Tracks him down from the backside.
Well, in Urbandale, I mean, their defense, they're not slouches, especially up front. 3rd in Class 5A and tackles for loss. They already have one here, and that was in that first series before giving up that long touchdown. But a big 3rd and 10 here.
Baker almost loses the snap, has to roll, eyes downfield, still waiting, fires, makes an adjustment, it's picked off. Urbandale taking it back the other way, and a hard tackle, but the Jayhawks get the ball right back. Julian Buer with the big interception.
Just what the doctor ordered for Urbandale, and this goes back to being a freshman quarterback right here for Baker. One of those freshman moments right here where he's staring his man downfield, rolling off to his left, throwing across his body. That is just a big no-no for a quarterback looking for his man down there, but a pair of Jayhawks swooped in to make the interception.
Mason Brooks was the intended target for Waukee, and Urbandale gets the ball right back, pretty much in the rough vicinity of where they had it last. So we trade turnovers early. Handoff off the right side and getting upfield. There's a tackle by Blake Hauk. And again with the carry is Jalen Brooks.
That was Byers' second interception on the season. Now 10 total for Urbandale. They also rank very high in the state in interceptions. So 2 defenses that don't give up much in the passing game. Both teams trading a turnover here in this first quarter.
Well, like you said, 2 very good defenses. Urbandale beat Valley a couple weeks ago 10-7. So definitely one of those games. And that went to overtime. So it's a battle of defenses tonight. Rottinghouse fakes the handoff. Here comes the pressure, and he gets rid of it just in time. But Peyton has taken a beating in the backfield so far tonight. And again, 3rd down and long upcoming for the Jayhawks.
I'm not sure if Urbandale was trying to set something up as a screen pass there, but just a missed assignment up front by this offensive line who's just been really overwhelmed by Waukee's front 7. I mean, aside from a few plays here and there, Rottinghouse has really been uncomfortable, has had to get rid of the ball quickly, and now they face 3rd and 7.
Hartzell in the backfield on 3rd down and 7 from the 35. He moves from right to left. Rottinghouse with time over the middle. It is tipped and almost intercepted. But that Waukee defense, those corners are making it a tough night already. And that was just off the fingertips of Blake Hauk, who's made 2 big plays on this drive.
Yeah, just a very, again, fortunate play here for Rottinghouse. Another high snap that he's had to handle, and lucky that that was not collected by Hauk. And they're 1 for 1 on 4th down. I think they got a member of Waukee to jump, but nothing called.
Another 4th down upcoming for the Jayhawks. They were able to convert on the last one thanks to Kai Black. Wouldn't be surprised if they look his way again. And we got a flag, and that's going to be a false start on Urbandale. So does your decision change?
I would have
Looks
to
like
think
it
so.
is, yep. Urbandale will now punt. So a good stop by Waukee, and first big penalty tonight for the Jayhawks. Justin Carper, the senior, will punt this one for Urbandale. And it's Lucas Struck back along with Jojo Leahy all the way back at the 10. Good snap. Punt is high, and the wind again is not going to help it. It's going to take a Waukee bounce, and Urbandale will bat it down at the 28-yard line, and that is where Waukee will set up shop. Well, the running game for both teams not working too great. I feel like this is going to be a night where you're going to have to make plays in the air despite the wind not being your friend so far.
Yeah, and we saw just the one missed assignment by Urbandale secondary, and that led to just a breakaway touchdown for Waukee earlier. And so, yeah, it's been a battle of the trenches, just that classic sense of football there where, again, both defensive lines have done a pretty good job, especially Waukee's defensive line, of making the quarterback uncomfortable. And so, yeah, the difference right now is who is going to be able to make those big plays in the pass game.
First down and 10 from the 30. Alley comes in motion. Baker fakes. He'll roll. Here comes pressure. Has to get rid of it and just misses his intended target, Lucas Struck. And I tell you what, Hunter, both quarterbacks are having to get rid of these balls so quick. The defensive pressure, they're dialing up blitzes almost every single play.
Yeah, and they're not allowing the quarterback to make the reads and the progressions. And as we've already seen from Baker, rolling out in a dangerous spot, throws an interception. Rottinghouse, you could argue that he maybe could have 2 interceptions in this one.
Gamble on the end around, good fake, and he is going to get a positive gain. The best run of the night so far, going to get it to about a 3rd down and 3 or 2 upcoming. Good misdirection set up by the Warriors. Third down and 4 for Baker and his offense. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Lucas Struck far out left, and Baker will try to set up his offense here. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Alley in motion, Gamble again, and Urbandale's defense right there. Nowhere to go for the Waukee running back, and the Jayhawks again get a big stop on 3rd down, and Waukee will punt.
Blake, we're going to call Cole Garwood's name quite a bit here tonight. I mean, he is one of the best linebackers in the state. Leads Class 5A in total tackles, 2nd in sacks, and he's a guy who's gotten offers from St. Thomas in Minnesota, the Pioneer Football League, and Northern Iowa. He is a guy that just has a nose for the football, makes a big play there.
Hurlbert gets the punt off. The wind is in his favor, and that will just bounce back and gets a great Waukee bounce. That'll drop inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line, and that is a job well done by Drew Hurlbert, and Waukee pins Urbandale back inside the 20. 7-0, 3:31 remaining. What does Urbandale got to do, Hunter, based off so far? The running game's not working. Passing game seems to be, it's working its way in.
You got to protect your quarterback first and foremost. I mean, he has been running for his life here early on, so you got to make things easier for your quarterback. And I think obviously establishing the run would help out with that, but Waukee, to their credit, they have just won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and their secondary, for the most part, has done a good job of eliminating Kai Black here early.
They go a handoff running right and gaining positive yardage on the far sideline is Jalen Brooks. And we got an injured Jayhawk down. Might be a lineman, and it might be a wide receiver. I can't quite tell. We will take a break, and we'll come back and check on our injured player. Waukee leads over Urbandale, 7-0. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker and Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Injury update on the far side. Can't quite tell who it is, but it is a lineman for Urbandale being checked on.
Looks like it is Colin Giles, junior offensive lineman. Those offensive linemen up front, they have had their hands full against Waukee's defensive front. And just throwing the different amount of looks, not only the defensive line, but the linebackers, even throwing in some blitzes from the corner, and he's being helped off. So hopefully we get a chance to see him back in the game. Certainly on a cold night, that's one of those things where the injuries just kind of have that extra kind of bite to him that he normally wouldn't face on a more milder night. So hopefully that young man's all right, and we get a chance to see him back in the game.
Second down and 3 from the 23. Waukee running, or Urbandale running with a bit of a different look. This is Benjamin Booth, the backup quarterback. He can run, and he'll take off on the right side and won't get anything. He's actually going to lose 3. If I'm not mistaken, Booth played a little bit of actual quarterback last year when Rottinghouse was out with an injury. So Benjamin used to being in that quarterback position. They usually bring him in for wildcat opportunities, and he'll check back out.
Yeah, second on the team in carries, 150 yards on the season and a touchdown. So they like to throw that wildcat look, but it didn't fool Waukee's defense that time.
Hartzell in the backfield, third down and 6. Rottinghouse fires, caught by Kai Black. And a march at the chains. It is going to be close. I think he's going to have it. But they go to Kai Black on third down, and I can't tell from our angle. Yep, they're going to give it to him. First down, Urbandale.
I believe when he caught it, he was past the line to gain. And so even though he got pushed back a little bit, still enough to get the first down. And, when you're in a low-scoring battle like we've seen here early on, field position certainly is going to be key. But Urbandale right now hoping to put together really a successful series here. They had that backbreaker earlier with that fumble. That was inside Waukee's 20 when they tried to tie it up, so trying to get back in the swing of things.
They go to Hartzell on another quick screen play, and Hartzell's dragging defenders forward, and he's going to have the first down. How about the effort by the running back, Max Hartzell?
Yeah, just showing off his strength right here, and again, just the sophomore like you were talking about earlier, Blake, just a guy that Urbandale's coaching staff is really high on. And because of plays like that, just tough to bring down in space.
1:39 to go here in the first quarter. Hartzell again trying to beat the men to the right side. He's brought down from the back by Blake Hauk. He has been busy tonight on the defensive side. And Hartzell not getting up quickly on the far sideline. Now he hops back up.
Yeah, he had 3 Warriors just chasing him down, and you can really see that speed of his also on full display right there. And so that's what you want to do if you're Urbandale. You want to get that run game going, and you're just hoping that you can get that matchup that you're looking for on the outside in the passing game to try to balance things out.
Hartzell remains in the game. Second down and 3 from the 45. And timeout will be taken. Nope, we're going to get a flag. They did not get the play off unless they say Urbandale did get a timeout. The back judge threw his flag, and he's going to put it back. So timeout will be taken by Urbandale. We'll take one with them. Waukee leads 7-0. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
How love a good win, however small or ordinary, losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
That's not warm, but it's not as cold.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Urbandale and Waukee going at it here. Score update from Southeast Polk.
Yeah, the Rams, after one quarter of play, up by 4 on Ankeny Centennial. Tight one there, 7-3. Southeast Polk on top.
Benjamin Booth using his blazing speed on a quarterback keeper, gets upfield. And he can throw, too, so it's definitely not a guaranteed run every time he's in the backfield. Something for Waukee to keep an eye on. Closing in on the end of the first quarter. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, because he has that threat as a passer, yeah, you have to be a little bit more honest there defensively. And so now you're really starting to see this Urbandale offense get into a rhythm as they're crossing the halfway point there in the field.
Rottinghouse handoff to Brooks, and Brooks hits the right side and gets upfield for a couple. About a gain of 5, and that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Waukee jumped out early and has been able to hold on ever since. Both teams have a turnover, and we are in for a great one tonight. 7-0 Waukee leads over Urbandale. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
When did strength become an ego thing? Strength is about more than you. It's about grit, work ethic, carrying your own weight, and still rising to new challenges, whether or not they happen during regular business hours. Because even for the strongest, there are no guarantees. But for those who wake up with the streetlights to make sure the world keeps moving, Western makes one promise: more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Quarter number 2 coming at you here. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here on this cold night in October 14th. Happy Football Friday to you all. Brooks gets a carry off the left side, and he is going to get about a yard. Nope, not even anything. Came out of the shotgun so far back. He sets back, 3rd down and 5. Hunter, a game that's been, besides the long play and the blown coverage by Urbandale, pretty much dead even, I'd have to say.
Yeah, it really has been. Both defenses have really held their own, and although we're seeing Urbandale have a little bit more success on this particular series, it has just been tough sledding for both offenses.
Rottinghouse fakes the handoff over the middle. Good coverage on the backside by Lucas Struck. Able to swing the ball free from the grasp of Bo Carenza.
Well, and that's the 3rd time that Rottinghouse has been trying to hook up with his tight end, Carenza. Yeah, I think Urbandale wanted a pass interference flag there, but just a better play made there, battling for the football. We've seen Lucas Struck make a lot of good plays here early on defensively for the Warriors.
Justin Carper will punt. Caden Ivory to return. Carper can get a good spot here. And instead, he kicks it high, and it might not even go 20 yards. Oh, he's going to get a lucky bounce. It's going to drop inside the 20, and Carper gets a very lucky bounce on a kick that went sky high into the wind. And Waukee will set up shop at about the 16-yard line. Well, if you're Waukee, you had your big play at the start of it. But now it's coming back to you got to get something else going, because ever since that play, hasn't been a lot going for Waukee besides the interception, obviously.
Yeah, and really just to a credit for Urbandale defensively to be able to bounce back after clearly just a disappointing mishap there in their secondary. And so they've really brought pressure on Beckett Baker, and we've seen just how he is still trying to adjust to that pressure.
Baker goes outside to Struck, and he is met immediately. And he's going to actually lose about a yard or two. And tough sledding again for Waukee's offense, not much going.
That was Oliver Towers there on the outside. That's something that I'm sure after that initial touchdown by Waukee, just you got to be able to know where your man is in an open field tackle. That was a good play there that time by Towers, the DB.
Gamble once again in the backfield. No Eddie so far tonight. Beckett fakes it, gets upfield. And once again, another loss of about a yard. And Waukee is backed up, way backed up. Third down, and I'd say about 4 or 5. And Hurlburt has struggled with a couple punts this year. So something to keep an eye on here as Waukee will try to get outside of their own 20. But we've also seen Waukee score from this position like they did against Ankeny in the first game of the year. Baker on 3rd and 14. He'll fire wide open downfield. It is caught down the sideline. Lucas Struck. One man to beat. Is caught inside the 15, but Lucas Struck makes a huge play.
Beckett Baker with an absolute dime of a pass. Lucas Struck just simply outbeat his man in coverage. And Urbandale's, we talked about their defensive line playing well, but unfortunately the secondary, they have had just a couple of mishaps back there, and the Warriors able to take advantage. But that was a beautiful throw there by Beckett Baker into the wind, showing off that arm strength.
Julian Buer caught him at the end. Good effort by him. Handoff up the middle, breaking a couple tackles and falling forward is Bryce Hoskin. First time we've seen him in the backfield for a while.
Yeah, looking at the sideline to see if Eddie is out of this ball game. Haven't seen him out on the field, but if you can get guys like Hoskinson to pick up those kind of yards, to step up real big, that's going to be a huge plus for this Waukee offense.
They keep Hoskinson in the backfield again. Baker keeps, and good open field tackle by 2 Urbandale defenders. Wow, they stayed home. Good job by those 2.
Yeah, they sure did. That was Jordan Sturdivant, junior defensive back, just mano-y-mano right there. Got a little help from his teammate as well. So 3rd down, I would have to think that even if they don't get it here, the question of the kicking game, you're going to, obviously this deep, you're going to go for it.
Baker keeps pushing into the end zone. Touchdown, Waukee. And that whole drive, Beckett Baker's arm, and then his legs finish it off, and the Warriors jump out to a 13-0 lead.
That Waukee sideline is fired up right now. Couldn't ask for a better start for this offense. Again, getting it done in the passing game and then plowing their way in for the end zone. Coach Baker down there, someone's got to hold it back. He is just super excited. He is loving how his team has come together lately.
Kick is up and in, 14-0. It's all Waukee over the Jayhawks of Urbandale. We'll take a break. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. no extra charge, and it's how service should be.
Back at Waukee Stadium on the Central Iowa Sports Network, Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Hunter, we got a stunner here early. Waukee up 14-0 over Urbandale. Long kick back will be taken by Hoyt. Hoyt to the near side and is spun down to about the 24-25. And boy, it is go time for Urbandale. They have been stuffed in the run game. The passing game has been solid, but you got to think you got to put up a score here of some sort.
Yeah, you definitely need to try to get momentum because Waukee right now just a team that simply is playing like a motivated bunch. I mean, when they see where they are at in the RPI rankings and knowing that, hey, we still have a chance, a lot to play for, it's senior night. I mean, all in all, this is a team that does not lack for motivation, and they have been able to show it here early.
Rottinghouse outside. This is caught and tripped up on the far sideline is Elijah Hoyt. And it's been quick passes tonight for the most part for Peyton. But when you talk about the D-line and how much pressure they've got, Peyton, like you said, really doesn't have a lot of time.
Yeah, so now you have to come up with plays where you just have to be able to hurry up, get the ball out quickly, and hope you guys can make plays in space.
Handoff here on this near side. How about the blocking downfield? Max Hartzell all the way to about the 50. Nice blocking up front by Urbandale to set them up for a nice first down in enemy territory.
Well, and once again, that calling Hoyt's name, doing a great job of blocking Carenza there initially at the line. He is just so fast. And we saw even when you meet him at the line, he's a tough guy to bring down. And so, again, a young player that is up and coming for this Jayhawk program.
Rottinghouse on 1st and 10. He's flushed out of the pocket. Eyes downfield and missed for Kai Black. Nice job by Kai to at least adjust and get back down. And this Waukee defense, it feels like they're waiting to blow when it comes to an interception. This ball's been batted around a couple times. And what do you think, Hunter, makes them so good? I mean, you know, you think they're not really tall, they're not really big, but, I mean, incredible ball hawks all across this defense.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it just really comes down to coaching, and it's really no secret. You know, Coach Baker, his bread and butter is defense, specifically in the secondary, and so he's been able to coach these guys up and make sure that they read the quarterback to see what he's going to do with the ball.
Booth brought down immediately. Did not get much on 2nd and 10, and now immediately 3rd down and 10.
But you know what is also a secondary's best friend is we have a late flag coming in here. When you have a defensive line that's continuing putting pressure on the quarterback, you put him in a position where he's going to make some bad decisions. That's what's really helped out the secondary as well here lately this season.
I think it's going to be a penalty on Urbandale. Unnecessary roughness on Urbandale's offensive lineman. And the Jayhawks shoot themselves in the foot on a play that you didn't want to see. Take a look at the replay, see if we can see what happened here.
Frustration already starting to boil over.
Oh.
Yeah, and that is uncalled for right there. The officials were all on top of it. Benjamin Booth was the one that just simply hit the man there on the field. And so Urbandale, if it's been turnovers and penalties, have been backing them up.
Rottinghouse fires short. Good defense by Struck. 4th down and 25. And the Jayhawks, once again, cannot get anything going, and the Warriors will get the ball back.
Just very uncharacteristic what we've seen from Urbandale. Normally a team that is fundamentally sound, takes care of the football, I mean, especially with their senior quarterback. But quite frankly, Blake, Waukee has them rattled right now. And you just saw it there on that personal foul penalty. And so now you're going to ask your defense to go back out there on the field, and you have a confident Beckett Baker that he knows that if he has enough time, he can deliver it downfield.
High snap, picked up. Punt is on the way. And it will bounce backwards and go out of bounds at the 49-yard line of Waukee. So they will get great field position once again and really try to put this game out of reach, at least for this first half, with 6:50 to go in the quarter. And besides the interception, Baker has been very solid.
Yeah, he really has been. And so, what you really love to see is, he threw that interception back in the first quarter, that he's not going to shy away from delivering it downfield and just trusting his arm, trusting his teammates, because he has seen that Urbandale's defensive backs at times have been fooled, and there has been a lack of communication back there. And so he has really taken advantage of it in the pocket.
Baker short. This is caught. And wide open downfield again is struck. Makes the grab and brought down, and the trickery continues. You're going to get a late roughing the passer call on Urbandale as well. Unbelievable play calling here by Coach Baker, and a roughing the passer to go on top of it.
Cooper Andrews, the junior wideout, showing off his arm.
No,
it's going to be a holding.
Thought it was roughing the passer because Andrews got hit, but the big play is going to be brought back, and Urbandale catches a huge break.
Huge break indeed. But I love that play call from Coach Baker, and just showing the confidence that he has in his offense. We'll get a better look at that holding penalty here. I think it was right there after Baker delivered the football.
And just like that, it backs him up almost 20 yards. A timeout is taken on the field. We will take one with them. Waukee leads Urbandale 14-0.
Off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Welcome back to Waukee Stadium on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. What a game so far this evening. 6:41 to go here in the second quarter. Waukee on top of the Jayhawks 14-0. As Waukee back here on offense with, guess who? Niall Eddy finally being seen in the backfield for Waukee. We have yet to see him tonight, and he's now lined up besides Baker in the backfield.
Just wanted to wait a little bit before making his appearance, and that is just another added weapon there that Urbandale is going to have to try to stop.
Baker will roll, looked at and struck the entire way, and is brought down out of bounds. Good coverage downfield by the Jayhawks. Second down and 26 now, I think, if he lost a yard. Costly holding call on the double pass by Waukee has him in this situation.
And that was just the first penalty on this Waukee team here tonight. So another area where they have done very well in is the fact that they have been able to play pretty clean.
Another run up the middle, not going to get much. Waukee just trying to salvage a lost drive. And a penalty like that, I mean, that's almost a drive derailer, if anything.
It certainly is. And, I mean, it was just going to be pouring salt into the wound for that defensive backfield for Urbandale. But fortunately for the Jayhawks, it got sent back, and that's just one of those things that, it can really kill the momentum of a drive. But Waukee's hoping that maybe they can get a play out in space, but Urbandale desperately wants to get their defense off the field.
Third and long. Baker wants one-on-one with Lucas. Struck. Almost caught it. He slid down and could not make the grab. Waukee sideline wants a PI call. Not going to get it, and on 4th and 26, Waukee will send out the punting unit, and Urbandale can take a sigh of relief.
Oliver Towers there on Struck. That's a good matchup in favor of Urbandale that time. That's going to be one to keep an eye on, right. And Struck nearly was there to make an unbelievable catch. He has just been everywhere tonight for Waukee, but a big win for Urbandale's defense, and hoping that they can get this ball in pretty good field position.
Low snap. Hurlburt barely got it away, and the ball will get a Waukee bounce again. A couple lucky bounces tonight for both teams. That will drop at about the 25-yard line, and Urbandale will set up shop again deep in their own territory. Going back to Beckett Baker's again, I was able to watch him in week 1 or week 2. Accuracy not great, but tonight his accuracy has been almost on point.
Yeah, and we saw that with that downfield throw to Struck. I mean, he just put that one right in the breadbasket, and that was in the wind too. So not only the accuracy, but the arm strength, you're really starting to see him come into his own here this season. And again, just a freshman, comes from a football family, and he's made the progression that you really want to see out of a young QB.
Hoyt on the jet sweep gets brought down for about a gain of 5. First time we've seen that tonight. Urbandale's had a couple of guys come running out of the backfield.
And so if you're Urbandale, you've been able to put some things together in previous series, but it's either been dissolved by penalty, especially here recently, or a turnover. And so Urbandale here with just over 5 minutes to play in this first half needs to get something positive going.
Hartzell driven down in the backfield. All thanks to the first one out on the Waukee defensive line. And Urbandale loses almost 10 on the play. Take a look at the replay.
Speaking of just a sophomore, Sonny Solkick right there has come up with yet another TFL in this one. He's got 19 and a half tackles on the season coming in, but he has just been a menace against the Jayhawks tonight.
Kai Black's being big on third down. Watch for him here on this near side. Third down and 15. Rottinghouse back to throw. Wants the screen. He gets hit. Ball came out. They're going to call it incomplete. And Waukee holds on third and long.
I think they've tried to set that screen game in the past, and there's just been really a lack of awareness on the part of Max Hartzell, but it was pretty much well covered by Waukee. I mean, the perfect defense to be able to go up against any potential screenplay right there. And so 3 and out. Man, Waukee's defense, they have been the story here tonight.
That was Malachi Kirby. Number 11 came screaming off the edge. Carper awkwardly hits it off his foot, and it will be picked up by Caden Ivory, and he is brought down for a gain of about 1. And we are going to get a unsportsmanlike conduct on Garrett Paul. Stood up, stood over, and yelled at Caden Ivory. And once again, we are going to get an unnecessary penalty on Urbandale. I believe. I'm pretty sure. Paul stood up, kind of stood over Caden, yelled something, but I could be wrong. Waukee's backing up.
It's going to be a hold on Waukee. And so that will, in fact, back him up. But if that was on Urbandale, that's one of those one of those unforced, again, one of those unforced penalties right there. But it was a hold on Waukee, so it backs them up a little bit more.
Yeah, I came in there when Paul stood over, so I was like, well, maybe. Both teams just kind of, I don't know, it just feels like it should be 0-0, but with the 2 big plays by Waukee that have set up for 14-0, and back and forth we go. On first and 10 from the 41. Baker, read option, keeps it himself, hits the corner, and will go down. That's a positive gain for the freshman. Gain of about 6.
Gabe Carver on the stop for Urbandale. And a well-designed run there to start this series for Waukee. Baker not only doing it with his arm, but he can certainly move. Very shifty.
Well, and only a freshman. You got to think he's going to get a little bit taller. Gamble, nice cut in the hole and gets upfield. First down. Grant Gamble had a one-on-one with the lineman, made a move, and gets upfield. First down, Waukee.
Gamble's really made some strides here in his sophomore season. Just excellent vision up front. You mentioned that cut right there. That is tough for a defensive lineman to just change direction real quickly. And so first down for the Warriors.
Baker, quick throw. Lucas Struck, his top target, gets upfield for a couple yards. He has been the main target tonight for Baker. Almost his first look every single time. But for good reason. Lucas has played great.
I just love Lucas's game, and I don't think he's even taken a play off, even on defense. I mean, he has been out there the entire time. He's just what you want out of a two-way player in football. Plays with a lot of energy, confidence, but also a smart football player.
Gamble gets stuffed. Got about to the line of scrimmage. Couldn't do much. He's actually going to lose a yard. And I bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Warriors in, I'd say, probably 4-down territory.
Nolan Garza was right there to be able to meet up with the running back. But yeah, if you're Waukee and you come up a little bit short here, I mean, why not? Your defense, certainly with this field position here, I mean, your defense could certainly hold Urbandale.
Baker gets it knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Great job by Urbandale's pressure. And now a tough decision on 4th and 4 with just under 2.5 to go. And Waukee gets the ball back to start the second half, so that is something to think about.
I just think with 2:15 left to go, this is a time where, again, you want to put confidence in your quarterback and in your offense.
It'll be 4th down and
It's
4.
Benjamin Booth who was able to knock it down using his speed on the end position. Big 3rd down here, 4th and 4. They try to get Urbandale to jump, and Baker will take a timeout and think about it a little bit more. We'll take a timeout with them. Waukee leads over Urbandale 14-0. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Timeout, Warriors.
What they call a snow day, we call a work day. And the resume I leave behind is nothing but clean pavement. That's why I stay prepared for all the depths of winter with a plow that won't back down from a little overtime and takes care of business beyond 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9 without skipping a beat. A plow you'd call a real MVP, the kind only Western builds, to get more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Waukee on top of Urbandale 14-0. Couple score updates for us across the CIML.
Of course, the big rivalry game in Des Moines, Valley Dowling at Valley Stadium, and Dowling Catholic. You talk about a team that's really been on a mission ever since that Week 1 loss. They're I mean, you could say right now probably the best team in 5A. They're up 14-3 in the first half. And then another score update, the defending champs Southeast Polk. They're up 14-3 on Ankeny Centennial midway through the second quarter.
Waukee will punt. Hurlburt gets it away, and that will bounce. And another great bounce. This will drop inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. How about the punt by Hurlburt? Pins Urbandale way back. And with Waukee getting the ball back to start the second half, we've talked about it. Urbandale just has to get something going on offense.
Yeah, it's a field position game right now, so I could see why Coach Baker went with that. I mean, why not? I mean, they have just been able to stymie Urbandale's offense. Ridinghouse has not been able to get into a rhythm. And those low punts right there on that replay, it's allowed for those good bounces for the Warriors in the punt game.
Ridinghouse fires short to Kai Black, and Kai is upfield for a big chunk of about, I'd say probably 9. So much bigger, at least 2 inches bigger than the tallest cornerback on Waukee's defense.
3rd catch of the night for Black, and if you need a little breathing room, just go over to number 15 and say, hey, go out there and win in that one-on-one battle, and that is certainly what Urbandale needed.
Urbandale going to change the play here at the line. Ridinghouse on 2nd and 1. They'll fire quick. This is caught by Hoyt. He works away from a couple defenders, and actually him running backwards. Let's see what they count. I think it is going to be a first, and it is. Try to make quick awareness. Did a little bit of the Chiefs offense, run backwards to get a couple yards going forward. First down, Urbandale. No, never mind. I thought he put up his hand first. 3rd and 1.
Just a little bit short, and that was Houck there in pursuit, there along the edge.
Urbandale again, quick to change. 1 wide receiver to the left, 3 to the right. Ridinghouse goes handoff to Hartzell, and Hartzell gets to the corner. No one's there. Bunch of black jerseys there. That's what's there, and it'll be 4th down upcoming for the Jayhawks. And I think they're going to want to measure.
Tate Garrington was the one that made that initial hit, but you saw Hartzell still be able to try to extend out and try to get the first down as a timeout on the field is called by Waukee.
We'll just stay here since we're close to halftime. 14-0 Waukee on top of Urbandale. They are not going to measure. They were just going to call a timeout. They are about 2 yards short. So Waukee's defensive line continues to shine this evening. And there will be a lot to talk about in the locker room for Coach Anderson and his offense going so far. Ankeny on top of Waukee Northwest 21-0 last time we checked. Waukee Northwest gets Urbandale next week, and I think Northwest can pretty much go 5-4 even if they lose next week. I think they can still get in. Dowling on top 21-3 over Valley. We'll talk more RPI at halftime. But this game would shake up the RPI a lot. I don't know how badly this would affect Urbandale's spot, but the Jayhawks currently sit 13th.
Again, coming into this game, just knowing that you're in the driver's seat, really, of controlling your own destiny. Waukee just playing spoiler and like a hungrier team thus far.
Urbandale going to try to get Waukee to jump, and it does not work. And Urbandale will take another timeout. Waukee's Sonny Salkick almost jumped. He was on his right hand, and he kind of leaned over and was able to catch himself. So Waukee will force Urbandale to punt. If you're the Warriors, you got a minute 06. The punts have not been phenomenal tonight. They get the win to help, but I'd go for the end zone here.
Yeah, I mean, just to really go out on top, and also knowing, too, that you get the ball first to start the second half. And so looking to see how many timeouts. I think Waukee does have a timeout.
Yep, one left
in their pocket, so that's something, you know, that they can obviously use here. But we've seen Urbandale's punt game really. I mean, both punters have really struggled here, and Waukee's come very close to blocking one. And so, either way, Waukee's hoping that they can really start this drive off, their final drive of the first half, in really good field position.
Garwood to punt. He'll send it on its way, and that is a great punt. This will be taken back by Caden Ivory. Ivory makes a couple guys miss and drops down to the ground at the 49-yard line. So Urbandale made a punting change quick, and there's I think they're probably going to get it on Urbandale on the unsportsmanlike conduct. And once again, it was Garrett Paul. Garrett Paul, I thought, had the unsportsmanlike conduct at first. I think this is going to be on the Jayhawks.
Well after the whistle, too.
You were looking at it just as I was. I got up, kind of a late hit, but kind of wrestling with each other, and then Paul stood up and got in the face of a Waukee player.
I think that was Malachi Curvey that he was tangling up with, face mask to face mask.
Officials saying, all right, who started it? Do you see who started it? Ooh, they're going to get it on Waukee. So technically going to call a personal foul. Oh, they're going to call it on both. So both get an unnecessary roughness, and they cancel out. So that will put the ball at the 49. That's probably the best case scenario. But like you said, unnecessary.
Yeah, really is. And we'll get a better look at it here well after the play.
So the referee saw enough to count it on both of them, and we play on. First down at 10 from the 49. Baker fakes over the middle. Charlie Cross wide open upfield. First down and more. And the Warriors with one timeout left are going to go quick.
First time we've seen Cross get a catch there in the passing game. And now we'll see what Waukee looks like here in their hurry up.
He's their, quote, tight end. They really don't have a tight end, but he is their, quote, tight end. Baker again to Cross and overshoots him out on the right side. Does give him the opportunity, though, to sit back and call a play. 37 seconds to go here on the clock.
Obviously, Lucas Struck is going to be the go-to, but don't sleep on Peyton Betts as well. Of course, had the initial touchdown for Waukee.
2nd and 10 from the 36 for the Warrior offense, trying to extend their lead here before halftime. Here comes a blitz on the edge. Baker feels it, fires short. This is caught by Struck. Nope, upfield, that's Tariq Ali. 3rd down is short, clock keeps moving. not really big field goal kicking on this Waukee team, so you got to think it's end zone or bust. 18 seconds to go. Baker's going to have to snap it quick. 15 seconds. Baker loads up, fires downfield. Lucas struck. Tackle down. PI flags come in. Easy call for the officials.
Well, hopefully we get a look at this route by Lucas Struck because it was just a piece of art. And Towers, for the most part, has done a good job in coverage, but clearly just draped all over Lucas Struck. And so that's as good as a catch right there when you're able to get a pass interference call. But, yeah, just outside of the shot right there, Struck was able to gain a little separation, and Towers just trying whatever he could to stop that ball from landing in Struck's hands.
Well, now I would say it is field goal range, so we'll see how Waukee wants to play this. Baker's trying to get them back in the huddle. They got 20 seconds on the play clock.
I mean, ideally, you think right here with 11 seconds to go that you do have one shot at the end zone. But Bartacek, despite his struggles with consistency, he's a guy who's got enough leg into the wind.
Baker, pressure coming, steps up, hold. Baker will take off, and can he get to the sideline? He does. 5 seconds, though, and a flag will come out.
And that's going to be a hold on Waukee. Out there on the outside for the Warriors, Andrew Hine, just a freshman out there. And so that backs up the Warriors, and now I think we're going to see Bartacek come out. And clearly a hold there.
It's not going to be an easy field goal. And we'll check on Bartacek's season here.
9-14 on the year, but he has made a 51-yarder.
The wind is not going to help him, though. It's going right at him. 5 seconds to go. This will probably end the half. Max Bartacek. And we're going to get a false start on Urbandale, so I think this will give him an extra couple yards, and it will. Give 5 more back. And flags continue to just haunt both teams so far.
Yeah, right there you saw the jump on the right side of the line there for Urbandale.
Benjamin Booth. Makes it a little bit easier. The wind is just so strong to the south. And coming from the north, it's just going to be tough. But he's off the right hash to try to make it a 17-point lead. Snap hold. Bartacek's kick on the way. It is perfect. Field goal is good. 17-0. Waukee will go into the locker room with the lead. Urbandale is on upset alert. What a kick by Max Bartacek. We will take a break, and we will be back in the halftime for a quick little recap, and we'll talk about RPI and more. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network. Waukee leads 17-0.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V-Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homemaker.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. It is halftime here at Waukee Stadium. Waukee 17, Urbandale nothing. The Jayhawks kind of stunned here early on the road at Waukee Stadium. Waukee 3-4, Urbandale 5-2. Waukee's 19th in the RPI Hunter, Urbandale 13th. This game is so crucial. Waukee has to win if they want to hang on. And the more I watch this Waukee team, it makes me think they could maybe lose to Dowling next week and still get in. We've seen a losing record team get into the playoffs, but very impressive with Waukee in the first half.
You have to be impressed. And it really all started on the defensive part of the football for Waukee, just really getting after Peyton Rottinghouse. He has not been able to get into any kind of a rhythm. They haven't been able to really successfully run the ball. Urbandale, they've kind of gotten in their own way with penalties. And, of course, they did have the fumble there. And that was really a backbreaker because that was inside Waukee's 25. But then also Urbandale's defense. I mean, for the most part, good, but it's been the bend and break, and they've had some breakdowns in the backfield that's led to some big plays downfield. Peyton Betts getting it started with that three-play 65-yard drive. And so that really helped set the tone in this game. And then how about Barticek coming up with a huge kick to put an exclamation point there in that first half. Impressive showing by the Warriors, who are really playing some good football.
Well, the surprising thing is, I think I speak for a lot of us coming into tonight, we thought this was going to be the Peyton Rottinghouse and Kai Black show, and instead we've gotten Beckett Baker and Lucas Struck. That's probably been the biggest surprise tonight. Yeah, Lucas Struck is,
You love how he plays the game, and not only offensively and what he's been able to do in space as a route runner and then after the tackle, but then defensively, he's also made some big plays as well. And so Waukee playing like a team that's on a mission. They're hungry. They want to get into that playoff conversation. And after one half of football here tonight, they've certainly made a statement.
Well, let's talk about the RPI like we said we would. Urbandale comes in 13th. Waukee is 19th, so only 6 spots separate the two. Take a look at that on your screen here. Johnston 11, who currently is up 21-0 over Cedar Rapids Kennedy, who is ranked 5th. So the Dragons can pretty much solidify a playoff spot tonight. Valley currently trailing Dowling. Gets interesting for the Tigers. Next week against Roosevelt could be their playoff on the line. Urbandale, obviously a loss tonight. It's going to set up big against Waukee Northwest. Ames should be cruising right now against Des Moines Lincoln. They're going to be a teeter-totter team. Sioux City East took care of Roosevelt last night. They'll be fine. Iowa City High playing Davenport West. Linn-Mar, 4-3, going to be sneaky. Dubuque Senior taking on Pleasant Valley tonight. I don't think the Rams will get in. And then Waukee and Iowa City West. But like you said, it's a control-your-destiny kind of night. Southeast Polk also leads Centennial 14-3. But, I mean, when it comes to the postseason, this RPI is really what makes these teams tick coming at the end.
Yeah, and that's what creates for really some excellent football here down the stretch. And for all of our NASCAR fans out there, it's really like the chase in ways where, again, there's so many teams in that conversation, but there's always a lot of activity around the bubble. We're seeing that right now here in one half of play here in Week 8. It's just been a lot of fun to watch. But for Waukee, a team that's playing with a lot of momentum, we've seen it here thus far.
Should be an interesting second half upcoming. We're going to take another break, listen to the band a little bit on this longer halftime, and we'll be back to set you up for our second half of action. It is Waukee and Urbandale on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car, so to get free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors, and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Welcome back to Waukee Stadium here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you. Still about 7 minutes to go, and probably will be about 10 because they always add an extra, but a little bit more to go till the second half is underway. Waukee on top of Urbandale 17-10. Here's a look at the Max Bartachek field goal. We were kind of confused because the official never signaled anything. He just stood here and he's like, all right, what's the call? That's why I was like hesitant on it, but it was good. And then Urbandale was kind of confused because they were like, the coach was like, shouldn't there have been 2 people down there? So I don't think we have a shortage of officials tonight, but kind of a weird play to end it.
Yeah, I had to wait a little bit to get the confirmation, but certainly a lot of leg there from Max Bartachek. And, as we noted earlier, he's got the longest kick made in Class 5A with a 51-yarder. So he's got certainly the leg to do so. It's really been, you saw that 43-yarder there that he was able to make. It's been, the PATs, he's been just rock solid, 15 of 16 here this year, but really more so with some of those longer intermediate kicks there. It's just been the accuracy. But, yeah, the leg right there into the wind, just a perfect way to end the half for Waukee, who just was able to get the big plays when they needed to. Otherwise, it's just been a tight, defensive battle all the way around. And so, I'm curious to see, how Urbandale comes out here in the second half. They won't have the ball to start the second half, but they really need their defense to step up. And so, and certainly the offense, specifically the offensive line, something needs to be done because, again, Peyton Rottinghouse, he is just he's been running for his life out there, has not been able to get it to guys like Kai Black, been very quiet there. But Waukee, it's about, you still have another second half of football left to play and just keep your foot on the gas. And so going to be really interesting to see how both teams come out. And you'd have to think if Waukee comes out and scores any kind of points, man, that just puts even more pressure on Urbandale.
Well, and it shouldn't be any surprise about Waukee's defense. In the last 3 games, they've given up 10 points to Johnston. That was in a loss. 14 to Sioux City North and 14 to Council Bluffs Lincoln. So tonight, definitely one of their top defensive games. And like you said, there's such a ball hawk defense with 10 interceptions. Urbandale not that far behind. Urbandale now has 10. They were able to pick off Beckett Baker this evening. But a couple score updates for you. I see you're holding one score. What do we got over there in Southeast Polk?
Well, before we get to the scores, just that the stats don't lie when you look at Waukee defensively, and so these things correlate together. You asked me earlier, why is the defense, specifically the secondary, racking up all these interceptions? Well, it's the fact that the defensive line gets to the quarterback. 17 sacks entering the game, second in Class 5A for Waukee, and then of course their 10 interceptions leads all of Class 5A. But going to some of the scores from around the Metro, Southeast Polk on top of Ankeny Centennial 14-3 at halftime. I think we noted, too, it was, 23-3 Dowling Catholic over
28-3.
28-3
over Valley.
Over Valley. And so there was an interesting stat on that game, courtesy of our colleague Andy Pollock, who, of course, is an assistant coach with Dowling, 27th Valley Dowling game in the last 18 years, and neither team has ever won more than 3 games in a row in the series. The Maroons they're certainly on their way of winning their 4th in a row in that series. So it's been a tight rivalry throughout the years, but certainly not tonight over there at Valley Stadium. But a lot of great games going on across the Metro all the way around.
We'll keep checking on those as the second half progresses here. We are just about to get the second half underway. A couple more minutes. We'll take another break, and we'll get you here for the opening of the second half here at Waukee Stadium. 17-0. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go.
So can your car, so to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Welcome back to Waukee Stadium here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. It is Waukee on top of the Urbandale Jayhawks, 17-0. Hunter, we have had a great game so far, but the Jayhawks kind of on the ropes here at halftime against a really talented, sneaky good Waukee team.
Yeah, Waukee, a team that, I mean, you can make the case they're really one of the hottest teams in all of Class 5A and certainly showed that back in the first half. And so Urbandale, we touched on it here earlier at halftime. You got to be able to protect your quarterback better and just have to be disciplined all the way around. I mean, penalties really derailed some of their drives there, especially in the second quarter. And so, you know, the same could be said for Waukee, that they maybe need to clean a few things up as well, because they did have some penalties that otherwise could have put them in a better position to maybe score 6 instead of 3. But all in all, these fans here at Waukee, again, senior night, pink out. They've had a lot to cheer for this Warriors team that is just continuing to get better and better, playing with a lot of confidence. And so this will obviously be a very big series here to start off the second half. Urbandale, they want to get their offense back on the field. They want to set the tone. And, you know, for Waukee, they just want to try to continue to build off of what they did in the first half. So a very critical opening drive here for both of these teams.
Should be an interesting second half upcoming. Pretty much last week we took the top 10 and threw it out the window. Nobody cares about the top 10 anymore. So technically Urbandale is ranked 13th. Waukee is ranked 19th out of 40 teams in Class 5A. I did see someone on social media ask, so what's Urbandale ranked? It's like, well, technically 13th. We'll go by what the RPI says. But, yeah, big second half upcoming. Urbandale will kick this one off. This is Rockney Carver, the kicker. I believe I remember him from either basketball or wrestling. I just remember it was one of the best names I've heard in the state of Iowa. Shout out Rockney Carver. And back to receive is Kyle Robinson and company, and that will fly out of the back of the end zone. Caden Ivory was back there as well, and Waukee's offense will come back out. And really, their points have come off 2 big blown coverages and a penalty. And that's pretty much it for this Waukee offense.
Yeah, that's really the portion where something's going to have to give. And right now, or so far what we've seen, is just Urbandale's inability at times to be able to properly communicate and make the plays that they need to in the secondary. I mean, their defensive line, they've done whatever they could to try to disrupt Beckett Baker, but Waukee has been able to take advantage of the mishaps thus far here for Urbandale. And so now we'll see how Waukee attacks this Urbandale defense out of the break.
It'll be first down and 10 from the 20. Betts in motion. Baker, handoff to Gamble. Broke a quick tackle and is met by a herd of defenders. And that was really the story for both these teams rushing. Besides a couple of breakaways, about 1 in every 15 run, it's been tough sledding on the ground for both teams tonight.
Yeah, neither could really establish a consistent ground game. And Waukee, they've been going to Gamble more so than Niall Eddy. And we've seen, one pretty solid run from Gamble. Otherwise, Urbandale, they've done enough to stop the run.
Baker goes short. Betts again. Able to fight upfield for about a gain of 2 or 3. Actually, just 1. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And it brings up a quick 3rd down and 10 already. Or 3rd and 9 for the Warrior offense.
First catch for Betts since that long touchdown catch to get things started for the Warriors. But a big 3rd down, especially for Urbandale's defense. They want to get back in this football game. They need to come up with a stop.
Betts over the middle, misses his man. Wide open, Oliver McClurg. Urbandale bit on the possible screen opportunity for Lucas Struck. They bunched everybody to the left. Pass just couldn't quite be made. Waukee will punt.
Yeah, Baker had to get rid of that ball quickly and nearly found his man down the middle. Was almost able to put that one right there in the hands of his receiver. But a 3 and out is just what Urbandale needed. And Waukee will be kicking into the wind here. Again, the wind's still blowing quite a bit here at Waukee Stadium.
Hurlbert, low punt. Gets rid of it. This will wobble. And it will bounce across the 50 and jump out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So Urbandale gets, honestly, their best field position we've seen all night. Now it's up to block for Rottinghouse. And I think you got to get the ball to Kai Black just a little bit more.
Yeah, you really have to. And I was just a little surprised in that they really didn't design more plays for Black, because oftentimes he has really been matched up one-on-one, which you would think you're going to, if we had a telestrator here, circle number 15. But it all starts with Rottinghouse, and you got to be able to protect him.
Brooks gets the handoff up the middle. That's going to be a gain of about 5. We'll stick that in the budget next year. Get a nice little telestrator for you. 2nd down and about 5 coming up. Urbandale down 17-0. Trying to get back in this ball game. It just takes one play for the Jayhawks. Trying to get win number 6 on the year. Rottinghouse, here comes the pressure, has to get rid of it, and it's intercepted right into the lap of Caden Ivory. Interception number 11 for the Waukee DBs.
Well, this was a broken play, and so Black was continuing to run upfield, and that allowed Ivory to just swoop in and make the play. Pressure coming to Rottinghouse again, and you see Black going up the field. He had no idea that ball was going to be thrown to him, and that ball-hawking defense got the hammer down right there to start off that second half. So good field position for Urbandale, and time again they just have not been able to take advantage of it. There have been very few good opportunities for them, but when they've been presented to themselves, they just unfortunately have made mistakes, and that's the second turnover forced by Waukee here tonight.
Grant Gamble got the carry, got about a yard. More tough sledding tonight for Waukee, as it feels like we're in a field position battle right now. 9:43 to go here in the third quarter, just getting going. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Baker to Struck. Ooh, almost intercepted. Good coverage downfield by Oliver Towers. Struck took a heck of a hit. It'll be 3rd and long upcoming.
Towers and Struck have really been battling over here along the near side of the field. And Towers that time doing a great job of reading that play, and for Beckett Baker just staring down his man a little too long that time. Urbandale already has 1 INT in this game, so you got to be careful with the football if you're Waukee, because at some point you give Urbandale good opportunity, they're going to take advantage.
Baker rolling on 3rd and 9, has to get rid of it, changes direction, fires upfield, and it's incomplete. Waukee sideline wanted a pass interference, and they're not going to get it. Shout out to Baker for at least being able to extend the play. It is no flag, I don't think, but the officials are going to talk about something.
Well, and that was right in front of the Waukee bench, so they had a real good look at it. But Urbandale's defense coming up big, forcing yet another punt here for Waukee. So both offenses with a little bit of a stalemate, despite Waukee getting that turnover.
Well, and if you're a Waukee fan, 17-0 feels like 17, possibly 30 and forever in a game like this where the offenses are so stagnant. Caden Arndt is back to receive this one. Holbert sends it to the right sideline, gets a couple bounces, and it will drop at the 33-yard line, and that is where Urbandale will set back up on offense and hope to get something moving. Stagnant Jayhawks offense here so far tonight.
And unfortunately, Urbandale, they've had these kind of performances. We saw that against their crosstown rival, Johnston, in the second week of the season. They unfortunately kind of have these games where it takes them a while to get going, but they really need to get their quarterback some confidence here, some quick throws out in space.
4 wide receivers to the near side. Rottinghouse will fire short, and Hoyt drops it. He was wide open, and he just dropped it. I don't know if it was setting up to be a possible double pass, but either way, it is second down. That's kind of how tonight's gone for Urbandale.
It really has, and just going right through his hands, and you want to be able to make that catch because you just don't know what's out there in space.
2nd and 10 for Rottinghouse. Hits his man, Caden Arndt, on the far sideline. Gets upfield for about 7. And another 3rd down. Just a couple quick 3 up, 3 downs is pretty much what we're seeing here as both teams struggling to move the football. God, I feel like you need this for Urbandale here. Try to get a man to jump. They'll look to the sideline. On 3rd and 3 from the 40, 8:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter. This is Kai Black here on this near sideline. Rottinghouse barks directions in the backfield. Rottinghouse on 3rd and 3, fires short, dropped. Pass intended for Hoyt. And again, 3 and out for the Urbandale offense, and the punt team will come out. Nothing going for the Jayhawk offense so far, and it's the Waukee defense that once again keeps them on their toes, and they're rewarded with another punt.
And unfortunately for Urbandale, it just started with that drop pass there from Elijah Hoyt, and it's like when a negative play happens, it just kind of just takes all the air out of that offense.
There's a good punt. Will bounce at the 20 down to the 19. And that is where it will sit and stop, and Waukee will start deep in their own territory. And again, Urbandale's offense hasn't been moving, but neither has Waukee's here in the second half.
And right now, I think if you're Urbandale, you desperately want to get a second turnover here, especially in this part of the field, and that's why you got to emphasize, too, if you're Waukee, you got to be able to take care of the football and also just try to take as much time off as you possibly can. Still plenty of time, obviously, left here in the 3rd quarter. Just trying to be as methodical as you can.
Ankeny on top of Waukee Northwest, 28-0. That's your latest score update. Gamble, carry up the middle, got dragged down and takes a tough hit. But he does get positive yardage, about 4 on the carry. And really no reason for Waukee to move the ball too quick. You got time. You're 17-0. And like we said, in a game like this, that's quite the margin. If you want to keep it on the ground, hey, keep it on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Just as long as you hang on to the football. I mean, that's really the key thing. And so, it's a nice luxury to have when you're up by 17.
Ball's on the ground. Baker hops on it just in time. And Urbandale could have used that big break. Urbandale forced an interception on Baker, but it was not really in the best spot. They would have had to go a long ways anyway. But really could use a turnover here if you're a Jayhawk. It'll be 3rd and 10, and once again, I don't think anyone has converted a first down in this second half.
No, they've just been 3 and outs. Stagnant. Really, like you said, Blake, that's been the word here to describe both of these offenses.
3rd and 10. Here comes Urbandale. Get rid of it quick. And back the other way comes Waukee. This is Cooper Andrews on the far sideline. He's going to have the first down. Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, and Cooper Andrews makes a play that should have been done. Out for a first.
I'm sure that's not how Coach Baker drew it up, but how about Beckett Baker getting rid of that ball? The last opportunity, and Andrews sticking with the play right there, and then able to go to the other side of the field to be able to move the chains. Back-breaking play there by Urbandale's defense. Nearly had that one stuffed up.
Baker keeps it himself, turns upfield, and is going to be close to the marker. I believe it is a first down, and 2 straight first down conversions for Waukee.
See, it's amazing what a play like that can really do to really just open things up. And so now you see Baker, the RPO, able to jet forward and get a gain of 10 there on that carry.
First down and 10 from the 42 for the Warriors. Bryce Hoskinson is in the backfield. Baker goes short. This is caught. And turning upfield is Tariq Alley, and he's not going to get much. They'll make it back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down upcoming.
First catch for the senior tonight.
That's a big back-breaking first down, I can tell you that, all the way back here. Got him backed up to about a third, almost got him inside the 5, and then to give up a play like that, it's caused the Jayhawks to start reeling here. And a score by Waukee on this drive, you got to feel like could put this thing away unless Urbandale's got their rally caps on. Baker on the run, fires short to Charlie Cross, and he's going to get upfield for about 3. And it sets up 3rd down and long. I heard a whistle blow, but I don't see anything.
Charlie Cross, number 36, with the catch.
I will say I do like the electronic marker on the sideline to tell us if it's 3rd down, 2nd down, or 1st down. That's just the technology of football.
Well, they knew that CISN was coming here to Waukee Stadium, so making sure that we were well taken care of.
Hoskinson up the middle. Breaks away. Bryce Hoskinson. Don't beat me there. Beat me there. Touchdown, Waukee. A lightning strike by number 8. And the Warriors extend their lead.
Hoskinson like a bullet train. Right up the middle. Nobody was there to meet him for Urbandale. And there's no way that you're going to catch number 8. That was just his 3rd carry of the season. He came in with 2 carries for 10 yards. That time right there, he took it to the house for a big Waukee touchdown.
Bartachek to kick. And it is good. 24-0. It is all Waukee over Urbandale. We'll take a break. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Welcome back to Waukee Stadium. It is all Waukee over Urbandale, 24-0. Bryce Hoskinson gives the Warriors a 24-point lead, and the Jayhawks are left reeling and need something here in the last 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
They certainly do, but it's just been the big plays by Waukee that have really been the difference maker offensively, even when things have kind of been broken down, Waukee has been able to make the adjustments, and they have just not been able to slow them down as Urbandale.
Hoyt gets drilled. Good pressure up front by Waukee. Nice play up front. That was 26, Sam Diner. And the Warriors continue to cruise. A lot of Urbandale student section fans headed for the exits after that latest touchdown, as the Warriors have come to play tonight. And you had to expect it. Urbandale didn't have as much to play for tonight. Waukee knew it's go or go home tonight, and they at least wanted to get a chance tomorrow or next week against Dowling.
Just a spirited effort. And I tell you what, Dowling cannot overlook this Waukee team, especially the defense, because they're going to get after you. And the woes just continue for Urbandale.
Yeah, Rottinghouse fumbled it, fell back on it. That is a loss of almost 10 yards, about 9-yard loss, backs Urbandale up.
And really not to look too far ahead. I mean, for Urbandale, you have Waukee Northwest next week. And, you know, Waukee Northwest at times this season, they have proven to be a really tough opponent as well.
Rottinghouse downfield. Kai Black gets it broken up at the end. Did not hang on. Great job by the Waukee DBs to break it up. Almost a acrobatic play. Great throw by Rottinghouse. But Kai Black could not hang on.
Yeah, beautiful ball by Rottinghouse, and just an even better job defensively. I mean, if you want to knock it out of Kai Black's hands, you have to be able to get really physical. And that's Peyton Betts, who has a touchdown catch tonight. Man, what a big-time play there going up against one of the top receivers in the state.
Tate Garrington was in there as well. Rottinghouse over the middle. Incomplete. It was almost picked and then dropped at the end by Caden Arndt, and it is 4th down and 17 again. Another 3-and-out for the Urbandale offense.
And how many times, Blake, have we seen it tonight where really it's been first down, where they have lost so many yards, and you can't continuously put yourself in 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations, because the defense knows you're going to be throwing the football. And so that's what's really hurt Urbandale offensively, is the fact that they just have so much negative yardage, especially on 1st and 2nd down.
That one almost blocked. Garwood got it off, but it is not a great punt. It's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to mark it out at the 30-yard line. And Waukee has a chance to really pull away here in beautiful, beautiful field position.
I think certainly a lot of fans who were watching and those in attendance thought this game was going to be really close. I mean, two teams that, we've talked about where they are in the RPI rankings. Waukee's been playing really well as of late. Urbandale's got a lot of talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But my goodness, 24-0, and Waukee still looking for more here in this 3rd quarter.
Baker overshoots his intended target, Tariq Alley, on a nice little slant route. Couldn't quite get it there. Brings up 2nd out of 10. There's still 4:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. It's unbelievable. I mean, you knew out of the gates with that play, Coach Baker knew tonight is a big night. You got to pull out all the stops when it comes to your playbook, and I think we've seen that. There's been a couple trick plays tonight that have just caught Urbandale way off guard. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Gamble on the right side, good burst, gets outside and makes a big play. And a late push, and frustrations continue to boil over. Cole Garwood pushed Gamble out way late. He had gotten to the track portion of the field and got an extra shove, and just like that, Urbandale gives up another unnecessary penalty. And it's unnecessary roughness on Garwood. Take a look at the replay.
Well, and certainly uncharacteristic for Garwood, who's a senior and one of the best linebackers in the state, but that's just frustration boiling over right there, and certainly no need for that. And fortunately, Gamble didn't get tripped up. because that's one of those things where, especially the late hits, I mean, it's all about player safety. And it's just been an undisciplined effort from the Jayhawks here tonight.
1st and 10 from the 11. Gamble upfield for a couple. Clock continues to tick down here in the third quarter. Waukee trying to extend their lead over the Jayhawks. And, I mean, I hate to say it, the more you score, the more it could help you boost up just a little bit more in the RPI. I'm sure Waukee would love to take that 13th spot that Urbandale currently resides in. 2nd down and 9. Gamble off the left side. Can he hit the corner? He does. Cuts back. And gets down to the 6. Anything on the sideline catching your eye? I do see a lot of the Urbandale defense huddled up. I don't know if they're just staying warm or not.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if there was any kind of spirited huddle going on. I also see a TV on.
Yes, that is. I mean, they do keep an eye on their defense, looking at their stuff or watching their offense. But it looked like everybody was huddled around taking a look at the offense. 3rd and 5 for Baker in the offense. Baker fakes, looking, gets away, fires, back of the end zone, couldn't get it done. But man, Beckett hung in till the final second to at least try to make a play, and Waukee will send out the kicking team.
He's just so elusive, and as a defense, I mean, it's one of those added frustrating elements of the game. In fact, Urbandale thought, in the last drive that they had him down, but instead it was a big-time pass play to Cooper Andrews that ended up getting that touchdown drive going.
Barticek. Did he get it? No, he didn't. Just missed it to the left. So is that the little bit of life that Urbandale needs to get this offense rolling, as Barticek misses his first kick on the night, and Urbandale will send back out their offense, trailing 24-0. Well, last drive, we saw a couple more big passes by Rottinghouse, and I didn't hate it. I liked the direction that they were going in. Couple just barely misses. I think that's going to be the key for Urbandale to get back into it.
Yeah, and again, it starts here on 1st down. Last 2 first downs for them, one was a drop pass by Hoyt, and the other was a bobbled snap that ended up losing them 7 yards. So you have to be able to start off the drive positively.
They pitch back out to Hartzell, and he is going to be fighting for his life to get back to the line of scrimmage. He might have gotten there. There's another lineman that got up pretty slowly. Can't quite tell who it is. 70. Who is that?
That's Jack Hearn. Offensive line has really been battling up front tonight.
6'3", 315 on the offensive line. Rottinghouse over the middle. Intercepted! Back the other way, getting a block, turning upfield. Touchdown, Waukee! Orson Harrop. Pick 6, Warriors. It's all going right for the guys in black.
Add another interception on the night for Waukee. Rottinghouse took an absolute hit there just as he was getting rid of that football. Waukee's defense has just been relentless tonight. Spirited effort by this bunch against, 13th in the RPI, 7th in the rankings for Urbandale. They've been around the top 10. Waukee says doesn't matter. We came ready to play.
Barticek, low kick. They're going to try to take off with it. No, they're going to toss it right back. This is caught by Barticek, and he gets upfield and falls just short of the line of scrimmage. There is no way that was designed. But Waukee almost pulled off a wild 2-point conversion. We're going to take a break. They lead 30-0 over Urbandale. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of Central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the whole difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
30-0. Waukee is blanking number 7 Urbandale here on senior night, and the Warriors just continue to pour it on after a pick 6 on defense by number 42 Orson Harrop, the junior. And man, I don't think anyone saw this coming tonight.
No, it has just really gone all Waukee's way. And give them credit. I mean, they just came in more prepared and were ready for battle.
That kick will go out of bounds, so Urbandale will get a couple more yards here. There is still 2 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the third quarter. Game has dragged on, but it's the scoring. Waukee's scoring has been phenomenal, and the defense has been unbelievable.
Yeah, forcing 3 turnovers on the night against really an experienced offense. I mean, especially when you talk about the quarterback position, Kai Black. Obviously, they do have some young skill position players, but yeah, just very uncharacteristic, to bring that word up again, from what we've seen out of Urbandale tonight, but it's just been Waukee rattling them.
Rottinghouse over the middle. This is caught. And upfield, one of the best plays of the night for Urbandale. That's caught by Charles Cook, the 6'5 senior wide receiver. That was another thing. On paper, roster-wise, Urbandale dominates Waukee in height. And I think that was something we thought we'd see more of, and we just haven't.
No, we haven't at all. And so I think just it all starts with, schematically how they're able to attack Urbandale. And as long as you put pressure on Rottinghouse, there's really not a whole lot he can do.
Fires again over the middle, takes a tough hit, but a heck of a grab upfield by Bo Carenza. And Urbandale moving the chains on this drive here. Yeah. I think you go ahead.
No, I mean, now you're finally starting to see really just an emphasis of, getting rid of the ball quickly for Rottinghouse, and he's been making some strong, accurate throws, and it's like, where's this been all night?
Rottinghouse back to throw. He's looking at Kai Black. He'll fire short. Carenza again upfield, and I believe another first down, and the Jayhawks starting to move the ball a lot better than they have thanks to this pass and no-huddle offense.
We'll have to try something different just to inject some life into your offense. And finally here on this series, we're seeing Rottinghouse be able to connect with Carenza, who's been targeted several times tonight, but just haven't been on the same page. Second time we have seen Urbandale's offense inside the 20 of Waukee.
Handoff Hartzell, not going to go anywhere. Going to lose about a yard or two.
I think that's been the difference right there. It's just the run defense for Waukee. I mean, how you help out a quarterback, not only protection, but you got to be able to run the ball. And aside from a few little scampers here and there by Hartzell and others, it has just been really difficult for positive gains to be gotten on the ground, forcing Urbandale in passing situations.
Second down and 12, 19 seconds to go in the quarter. Rottinghouse over the middle, caught again by Carenza. Upfield, and that should be the last play of the quarter, I believe, as the clock will tick down. So that will finish the third quarter. It is all Waukee. They lead over Urbandale 30-7. We'll be back here, or 30-0. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the car guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. It is Waukee on top of Urbandale, 30-0. Urbandale inside the 20 here, going to try to grab a quick score to try to at least put something up on the scoreboard. That is for sure. 3rd and 4 for Rottinghouse and his offense. Peyton back to throw, steps up in the pocket, gets rid of it, incomplete. Got hit as he threw. It'll be 4th down and 4 upcoming.
Blake Hauk right there applying pressure on Rottinghouse, who is still down on the turf, and you just hate to see this.
He has taken a beating tonight, and we will take a break, and they'll attend to him. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of Central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Back here at Waukee Stadium, Peyton Rottinghouse is still down on the field. He is being tended to by many trainers. Coach Baker's even out there. And Peyton went down and just really hasn't moved. They're going to get him over to his back. He has had a tough night tonight, and trainers continue to check on him. But it says a lot. He has stood in the pocket tall tonight, and he's been a big leader for Urbandale over the last couple seasons. And just giving it his all tonight, and unfortunately down with an injury being checked on at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he has really hung in tough, and Waukee has just really gotten after him throughout the course of the night. And just unfortunately, these kind of things happen when your quarterback's constantly under duress. And, yeah, one of the first members of the personnel out there was Gabe Baker, head coach for Waukee. He's helping lift up Peyton. Of course, Coach Anderson out there for Urbandale as well. Great to see him be able to get up, and good sportsmanship there. That's what, again, you love to see from everyone here in attendance, but especially Coach Baker right there, because he knows how talented of a football player Rottinghouse is. Urbandale's career leader in passing yards, and, yeah, just really unfortunate right there, because this has really been the best drive or series that Urbandale has been able to put together. And so now here you are, fourth down, about 4th and 4 coming up. And so now if you're Urbandale, how do you respond after your senior signal caller is not out there? You got the weapons to be able to do it. The height, going back to that, Blake, here in the red zone, this is where you certainly want to utilize it.
So they will go with the backup. Can't quite tell the number. Fire out to the outside. It is intercepted on the far sideline. Once again, Caden Ivory juggled it around and caught it. The official was on the far sideline and was able to grab it. He bobbled it, but was able to come down. The 3rd interception tonight by the Waukee DBs.
Just continuing to add to their total. Justin Carper, backup quarterback. Just a ball that floated around in the air. And Waukee, whenever they're like sharks, whenever there's blood in the water, they see that football up in the air just hanging around. Chances are they're going to get their hands on it. And Ivory standing at 6'3". I mean, he is a well-sized cornerback. And so, going into this game, leading the state in interceptions, just adding to that 4 turnovers this Waukee defense has been able to force. And now you're probably going to see the Warriors really try to run as much clock out as they can and probably sticking to the ground game.
Yeah, 11:30 to go. Still not continuous clock. Continuous clock has to be 35, but Waukee definitely taking their time. Bryce Hoskinson is in the backfield.
Of course, Hoskinson had that big run earlier to make it a 24-0 game. At that point, the ball's loose.
Yeah, Baker lost it going forward. I think Waukee was able to hop on top of it, and they say Hoskinson is able to hang on. So it'll bring up 3rd down and about 13, I'd have to say. And like you said, Waukee really not in too big of a rush tonight. Final score, Ankeny takes down Waukee Northwest 31-7. And Waukee Northwest, I believe, drops to 4-4, if I'm correct. So that's another interesting. They were 7th in the RPI, so we'll see what happens there. That's technically a good loss, but I have to see what happens there. Hoskinson up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, and will be brought down. Got past the original line of scrimmage. And Johnston on top of Kennedy, 28-7. That'll be an interesting loss for Kennedy. Should drop him a little bit. And like we talked about at halftime, Johnston probably solidifies a playoff spot tonight.
Yeah, and you just talk about a team that's, we talked about this before we hit the air, just Jekyll and Hyde. You really don't know what kind of version you're going to get out of the Johnston Dragons, but really convincing win against Cedar Rapids. Kennedy, very good win for that program. Also wanted to note, too, a team that's obviously firmly in the RPI ranking, Southeast Polk on top of Ankeny Centennial, 28-3. They're beginning play in the 4th quarter.
High, long punt, almost dropped. Caden Arndt was able to grab it, and Waukee will set up shop at the 47-yard line. And back out for quarterback is Justin Carper. Take a look at the replay here. Hurlbert's punt. I don't know how no punts have been blocked tonight. I feel like we have been inches away from a block on either side.
You're just waiting for it. That was honestly the highest punt that we've seen from Waukee tonight, and so that probably took Caden Arndt by surprise a little bit and is able to make the adjustment while jumping up to make that catch.
Hand off middle. This is Brooks, I believe, gets the carry going forward. It might not be. Hard to see the number. That was actually Hunter Bagby.
Surprised we haven't called Bagby's name more often. He had 92 yards on the ground last week, 2 touchdowns in that win over Sioux City West, and
leads the team in rushing touchdowns with 5. I'm with you there.
Between that and Niall Eddy, just, it's really been the backup running backs that have done the bulk of the work tonight.
Bagby gets brought down for a loss of about 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 3 with 9:04 to go. You're looking at pretty much 4-down territory.
So that was Carper's first pass back in their last series on the season that was picked off by Waukee. So a guy that they really haven't had to turn to, even when games have kind of been well decided like last week. They like going to Benjamin Booth as well as Garwood maybe at times.
And a quarterback keeper off the right side. Down the sideline, ball came out. Waukee hops on top of it. Justin Carper was tripping and dropped it, and Waukee with their 4th turnover on the night.
Well, this is just all Carper right here. He just drops it. He just drops it out of his hand. And he is just clearly frustrated with himself. He has 2 rushing touchdowns on the year, so a capable runner, and that just really adds just insult to injury for Urbandale's offense, that just, even when something positive has happened, it just, take 1 step forward, 2 steps back, if you will. And so just really unfortunate there for the Jayhawks. It's really just been one of those nights, and I'm sure they're just wanting this last 8.5 minutes to go as quickly as possible.
Baker short, caught, turning up field is number 14, and that would be Cooper Andrews. That is,
and I believe that was the 5th turnover.
5th? Yeah.
5th turnover by Urbandale tonight.
2
fumbles and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions. So if that puts us up, that is 20 turnovers this season that Waukee has forced. That's what makes this team just so dangerous. Gamble carry up the middle. It's about 5 or 6. And we're under 8 to go here at Waukee Stadium. You couldn't ask for a better senior night, though, if you're Waukee. Great crowd on hand tonight, braving the cold weather. But just have pulled out all the stops tonight against a very talented Urbandale team, whose only losses were to Valley by 3 points and Centennial by 5 points, I believe. So, I mean, very good. Charlie Cross with the catch upfield, first down.
Yeah, I mean, the losses, yeah, for Urbandale. I mean, you talk about, I mean, the Johnston game really just got away from them there, 24-7. And then, you know, I think a game that really kind of surprised some people was that loss to Ankeny Centennial. But, I mean, aside from that, I mean, yeah, Urbandale, they've had some really good wins, including, like you said, at Valley and that overtime game, and then Bettendorf to start off the season. So they're a team that schedules tough, but just has not been their night.
Charlie Cross again gets upfield and will rip down. Got about a gain of 9. And even with the lead, Waukee just continues to move the ball. I mean, it's just been very impressive all night long. Check out the throw. Baker has been probably the biggest tonight that I've been most impressed with. You know, you can look at this Waukee team in week 1 against Ankeny. Didn't lose by much considering it was Ankeny,
Yeah.
but I mean, I bet they wish with this team they have now they could go back and maybe play those teams like Ankeny Centennial and whatnot.
Yeah, because, well, and there's the second turnover by Waukee tonight. So Urbandale is able to get something positive there and be able to swoop up that loose ball. But going back at Baker's, a player slow to get up here for Urbandale. You know, he had the interception in the first quarter, and, you know, at times, you know, you're not sure how a quarterback's going to respond from that, especially a young quarterback. And he did so really in a big way, and he was able to exploit really some of the plays down the field in which Urbandale just had blown assignments. And so you got to give him a lot of credit, and just being able to bounce back and just showing the mental toughness that he has. And so really impressed with him. And, you know, we were here to watch that Ankeny Centennial game, and this team now, I mean, just a complete 180 from what we saw in that game against Centennial. And Centennial was a team that was desperate to get things going in the right direction. And so I tell you, I mean, it's just been fun to watch each and every week. You don't know what you're going to see. And there's just been so much calamity. And we've really seen it here tonight. You know, a score of 30-0. Nobody anticipated this at all.
It's very interesting because it's almost a mirror image of both the girls and boys basketball teams from Waukee. After the split, you know, Waukee Northwest overall, I'd say, got a bulk of the better side of the athletes, so the more experienced athletes. So Waukee was left to kind of pick up the pieces and say, all right, we're going to run a team that is very young. I think the girls basketball team only had 1 senior last year. And as the season went on, you're like, okay, now they're starting to figure it out. Now they're understanding how to play the game together without what they had before. And once again, we're seeing it now. And give it 2-3 years, I think we'll see Waukee back on top. Boys basketball will be, but kind of follows that trend of teams that have split and had to recover afterwards.
Yeah, and so you really have to be impressed by how quickly Gabe Baker has really gotten these guys to buy in. Again, just year number 2. He's got a wealth of experience as a coach. I mean, way back when, I mean, he was an assistant coach under Gary Swenson at Valley. I mean, he is a guy that has been to Centerville, I believe. I mean, he's in Clear Creek Amana. I mean, he has been at different programs, and he knew what he was inheriting. And, man, his guys have just really bought in.
Carry up the middle for Urbandale, Hunter Bagby. And last year was not fun for Waukee. I mean, it was not a fun year for football, and, you know, a lot of losses, not a lot of wins, and a lot of people wondered, well, what was going to happen. But, you know, the response this year, a big win tonight, and you have a playoff shot. I mean, that is unbelievable. This team only, won 1 game last year, and, you know, back to we can compete for a playoff spot next week.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's about finding a way to compete as Urbandale gets a big gain there on the ground. you know, that's what it's all about. That's why you work so hard in the offseason. It's for a shot to make it to the postseason. And then when you start to see those RPI rankings pop up, I mean, that's what really gives a team that extra juice. And there's a really nice carry there for Urbandale. Hunter Bagby, like we talked about earlier, just haven't seen him very often, and that's the damage that he can do. And so Urbandale trying to cap off their first scoring drive of the game potentially.
Trying to avoid the shutout. Bagby, nope, it's a keeper on the right side, and turning upfield is Justin Carper. Carper, I believe, started the punting duties tonight and just wasn't getting the results they wanted, so he was then pulled. And because of Peyton Rottinghouse being injured, and I can't see from over here. You're the one with binoculars to see what Peyton's doing on the sideline, but it is Carper currently in at quarterback. He is a senior as well. 2nd and 5. Bagby off the right, bouncing a couple defenders. He is short. It will bring up 3rd down and about 1. But what a stunner tonight here at Waukee Stadium. Urbandale, number 7 in Class 5A, was coming into tonight, and they were looking to maybe host a playoff game at home, and right now, or maybe sneak into a possible home playoff game, but right now we'll be reeling. And you're 13th in the spots, or in the RPI, so we'll see how that shakes out. Touchdown up the middle, carried by Urbandale. And the Jayhawks are on the board for the first time tonight on the quarterback keeper. Nice play up the middle by Justin Carper for the touchdown. There's a Urbandale lineman slow on the play. Take a look at the replay. When in doubt, the QB sneak always works.
Yeah, you got to trust those big guys in front of you and getting the push there. And you like the fight out of Urbandale here down the stretch. They've had to just really battle adversity in many forms here tonight, and you know, with my binoculars trying to look over there on the sidelines, have not been able to identify Peyton Rottinghouse, but certainly hope that he is okay.
Rockney Carver to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is good. 30-7. Urbandale puts up their first score of the night. 4:05 remaining. Waukee leads. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Welcome back to Waukee Stadium. It is all Waukee tonight over Urbandale. 30-7, 4:05 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Shout out to our cameraman and camerawoman, Peter and Rachel, braving the cold weather and the wind tonight. Randy, our producer, sitting in the heat with Hunter and I. Carver knocks this one deep. Waukee was expecting a onside kick. Caden Ivory will take it. He'll get to the middle and cut back outside. Ivory, can he hit the corner? He does. And a great return. Ivory makes a man miss. Staying on his feet. Ivory, one man, down the sidelines. Touchdown, Waukee.
We do have a flag at the 40-yard line.
And another flag for Waukee. I think we're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct. And this one will be coming back. I don't even know if Caden wanted to return that. He started slowing down at the 20. I think he was maybe hoping he would go down. He didn't want to run up the score.
Boy, at midfield, he made an excellent move. And it was just a matter of, can he stay on his feet, keep himself upright, and he was able to do so.
So a block in the back on Waukee, and then an unsportsmanlike conduct on Waukee. It was I think it was a lineman that yelled something. Probably the lineman that got the block in the back. That will back them up, so the touchdown is erased off the board. But take a look at the replay while we're at it. How about Caden Ivory? Heck of a basketball player. He's making a couple of crossovers here on the football field, too.
Yeah, there was that little hesitation right there.
Block in the back's right. Well, maybe there. I'm not sure.
But you saw the nice move that he was able to make at midfield.
Assume that's the block in the back.
And there it was right there. Yeah. And then back behind there, too, was when there was that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Player ran off the field, said something. Official threw the flag. So despite the 2 penalties, they're going to start at the 36. So still not bad for Waukee. First down and 10, 3:56 to go. Beckett Baker still in the ball game. Handoff, Gamble. Upfield, gain of about 4 or 5. And, you know, Waukee keeps their main offense out. I don't think you can get too mad at that because your quarterback's a freshman. You can say, well, I still want him to get some experience in the backfield.
Yeah, all in all, really young quarterback room for Waukee. Obviously headlined by Beckett Baker. But, you know, if you wanted to build momentum going into a Week 9 showdown against Dowling Catholic, I don't know what more you could possibly do. If you're Waukee, that'll certainly be a game to watch next week because Waukee is a much different team than we saw a few weeks ago, like we talked about earlier. And then on the other side for Urbandale, playing Waukee Northwest, 2 teams that no doubt will be looking to take out their frustration next week. So that's really one that can go either way.
Yeah. That will be a heck of a game. I believe that's at Waukee Northwest. Yeah, because the Wolves have had to go to Ankeny Stadium for 2 straight weeks. So, and for Coach Baker, it's got to be a little bit of a relaxation. A lot of schools have to deal with quarterback battles. You know who your guy is for at least 3 more years, and that's got to be great. They check down short to JoJo Leahy, and he will get about 2 as the clock continues to tick down on a big Waukee win.
I mean, how many times, no matter if you're talking high school, college, or in the pros, if there's ever quarterback controversy, it creates really just a cloud of distraction for the entire team. And so this way, I mean, you know who your guy is, and I tell you what, this offense is just continuing to find ways to be able to produce some really good results. And we have a flag here before the snap.
Penalty flag on the play.
Let's see. Side judge threw it, and it is on Urbandale. Offsides Urbandale. Update from Southeast Polk. The Rams on top 42-16. Abu Sama has come back, and Southeast Polk is back in the conversation for a state title contender. Not that they ever were taken out, but they definitely gain a lot of momentum.
Well, how fun is he to watch?
Oh, unbelievable. Oh. Iowa State, I mean, Matt Campbell, his recruiting class in-state, very impressive. With Kai Black and now Abu Sama, the Cyclones are getting a lot of good in-state recruits.
Certainly are. And I also wanted to give an update on the Valley Dowling game. That one really got out of hand in a hurry, 35-3. Valley trailing to Dowling as that game is in the 4th quarter, and another flag here probably going to back things up here for the Warriors.
Beckett Baker is done for the night. He has come to the sideline. At least I think he's done. Blake Hauk was on the carry in a holding call. Minute 30 to go here. Well, the good thing for Urbandale, not a very long drive back on the bus. As here's the holding call. Anytime a play goes one way and it cuts back the other, it's almost hard not to see a play like that.
Yeah, really hard for anyone to not hold on to the defender. But yeah, going back to Urbandale, you know, this is just one that you really want to put away and have a short memory of it and just try to move on.
Blake Hauk up the middle. Gets a nice chunk back, almost about a yard short of the line of scrimmage. And about 1-2 more plays will have to be run here. One more play by the Waukee offense. And it might be everyone's favorite formation, the victory formation. To put a bow on this one, Waukee jumped out early, thanks to a big Peyton Betts score. And ever since then, it has been all Waukee. They forced 5 turnovers tonight, 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. One of them was taken back for 6. As the student section celebrates for good reason. They give themselves a chance next week in the playoffs. I assume this will jump them into the top 16 in the RPI. As Hauk will take the carry, he'll cut back and get upfield, and that will do it for this one. We got an upset in Waukee Stadium, a stunner on senior night. Urbandale, number 7th ranked Urbandale, will fall to Waukee. 30-7 is your final score. What a win for Coach Baker. His first big win, I'd say, in his career with the Warriors. And that will do it officially. 30-7, Waukee upsets Urbandale. They'll move to 4-4 on the season and will have their playoff fate decided next week against Dowling Catholic. Urbandale will fall to 5-3 and will take on Waukee Northwest next week. We will take a break and we'll be back to wrap it all up. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors, stewards of your dollars and savings. Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy,
Behind your everyday.
and we are
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the car guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. It is a final from Waukee Stadium. Waukee upsets Urbandale. 30-7 is your final score. What a game put together by Waukee. They moved to 4-4 on the year. Urbandale falls to 5-3. And Hunter, it's pretty simple. Waukee kept their playoff hopes alive tonight.
Yeah, they certainly did, and they set the tone early, but it was really the defense that was really impressive. I mean, forcing 5 turnovers against a really good offensive team in Urbandale. And so this is a Waukee team. They've now won 3 games in a row. It starts on defense, but the offense, they made big plays when needed. Really liked what we saw out of Beckett Baker tonight. And so I tell you what, you got to be bullish right now on this Waukee team. They are really trending in the right direction, and that's what you want this time of year as you want to be in the midst of a playoff spot. A few weeks ago, not sure if this team was really in that conversation. Now they certainly are after a big statement win here tonight.
What a win it was. Waukee upsets number 13th/7th ranked Urbandale. 30-7 is your final score. 5 turnovers forced by the Waukee Warrior defense. They will go to Dowling next week to see if they can make a playoff game against the Maroons. Urbandale will take on Waukee Northwest. That will be another big deciding factor in home or away advantage / RPI advantage in Class 5A. That will do it for us from Waukee Stadium. Shout out to our cameraman and camerawoman Pete and Rachel for braving the cold weather and the wind. Shout out to our producer Randy for all that he's done for us tonight. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips, we say so long from Waukee Stadium. Thank you for watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.